And we're live! We're live! What's up, guys? Welcome, everyone, to Addicted Podcast number 39. Oh my
shit, is it 39?
God, it's 39.
No one's going to turn up. Should we cancel next week?
Now, before we'll do a sound check as always, so we need to do sound checks. So everybody tell me if everyone can hear everybody.
Testing, 5, 6, 8.
Everyone's got the right name. Everyone's happy with the position of their fucking name.
I don't.
Let me have a look.
Dodge, have I spelled your name wrong?
Yes.
the janitor. Oh no. I wish the janitor. It's like
Darjanator. No, it's the Darjanator.
Oh.
Come for Sarah Connor.
It's my cleaning habit again. It's like
right.
It's the janitor.
Everybody just do sound checks.
I think you're muted.
You haven't put guest over Angels either.
Oh no, there he is. So?
What's going on?
Okay, you're there. You sound a bit odd, but it's cool you're there. Don't worry about it, it's fine.
He's messed around with his microphone so much he now sounds like...
So you can grow up.
No, that was on purpose.
Smile. Smile. It's alright, you're surrounded by weirdos. Yeah, she's just worried at the moment.
It's like, what, 6 in the morning for you right now, so...
Yeah, it's 6:10.
Smiling isn't on the fucking on the agenda today. Not at that time.
Oh, God.
I'll just sit here in a grump all day then.
Superb. No, thank you for agreeing at this crazy time. I have to say, whilst we're all getting drunk, you're just waking up to enjoy the day.
It is shit when you go to the pub and everyone else
probably
is
still fall asleep before.
Irish coffee required, I think. Yeah. So yeah, carry on. Whilst I'm going to have to go and change Dash's name.
What?
I spelled it wrong.
Darjanator, for fuck's sake.
Darjanator.
Just to reiterate, so you saw his name on Discord and you still spelled
we even specified it.
I'm dyslexic, it's my excuse. I'm allowed to get...
Darjanator, sounds like something from He-Man.
I
am Darjanator!
Skeletor's handsomer brother. Because I have a face.
Darjan. Oh, it's missing the A.
Yes.
I'm missing the A. That's it. Okay.
As so many people say.
I'm just checking everybody else's. If you
so are we playing this all?
You go around. Let's go around and see how everyone's just do this in general week. So everybody,
welcome everybody to Addicted Podcast number 39. While Madness is correcting his screen, we are going to carry on as if nothing's happened and be as professional as usual. So today we are joined with 3 wonderful guests. We don't really care. Max is sort of in between. We don't know whether we call him a guest or not yet. But yeah, we have the Darjanator. Once again, well, thank you for coming back. Second time on the show and probably the last now. And we also have in the corner Angeldeath, who is up very early in the morning to come and join us. So thank you very much.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
And last but not least, we do have Mac. I gave him a good intro last time. He doesn't deserve it every time.
It was very homosexual, in fact.
It was.
It was a bit too gay, but I liked it. You can say it again. I don't mind.
What was that?
Well,
not now. You just ruined it.
Oh, okay.
He's not gay, but $20 is $20. So.
So yeah, well, let's go around and see what everybody's been up to last week. We'll start with the guest. Angeldeath, do you want to tell us what you've been up to?
Not a lot of anything.
Great.
Excellent.
I'm just kidding.
Apparently a lot of Minecraft, but that's about it.
Wonderful. Okay. Minecraft. Okay, here's my thing. What is this appeal? I mean, I know it's a massive game, right? It's a pretty big game, Minecraft, from what I understand.
I like it. It's
relaxing.
What is it? Because it's like literally like a game, pixels from when I was probably about 2.
Lego.
Yeah,
it's not about
Lego.
the graphics.
It's like Lego you never actually have to look at.
Right.
Yeah, I was at the farm a while ago, and I heard a sheep mare.
Why farm?
It was
why are you, man?
No, not a why farm. I was at a farm, and I heard a sheep sort of mare, and I thought it just reminded me, it brought back memories of playing Minecraft. Like real life is bringing back gaming memories rather than other way around.
This has that as well, Mac. When he hears a sheep say bye,
He does a traumatic time for him.
Oh, here's a good advocate.
We talk sheep and whales. Mrs. in trouble.
It's Lego you can't step on in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, that is not good stuff.
Yeah, no, that's who. To be fair though, who leaves Lego lying around?
Me.
My son.
Small children, like Mac.
Like my kids. My kids don't learn. I mean, Duplo. I understand Duplo. Duplo is a mother. That shit is dead.
What the fuck?
I used to put boxes of Lego on top of my door, so that when my parents opened the door, the Lego tipped all over on their head and all on the floor. Did anyone else do that, or was it just me?
That's a good idea. No, that's a great idea. But then you're the one who want to pick it up.
I used to do it with books as well. So you rest the books so they're slanted. So when you open the door, it just like on their head.
So at what age were you put up for adoption?
That's why he lives in Wales now.
It got a bit. They complained when I started putting encyclopedias up there instead of knocking them out. I was like, okay, stop now.
So will you be? So is everyone here? So were you guys going to be buying the Millennium Falcon 7,500 pieces, 600?
I know someone.
That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted.
I wish.
Will you be buying it? Yeah, because I am. I'm buying it.
You will not have Legos laying around because you have a $7,500 piece of Lego set. You know what I mean? But someone that does just normal Lego, you'll find it everywhere.
Yeah, that's the trouble with Lego nowadays. Is it's not like random pieces that you make whatever you want. It's a kit, and you have to put it together. It's ruined Lego.
Well,
but should we talk about Star Citizen?
Yeah, sorry. No, I love talking about.
We need to talk about anything other than Star Citizen because there's not a lot to talk about. So.
Yeah, I love talking about Lego, but you're right about the kits and stuff. I do remember as a child, I would just have a big a wooden box. My mum had collected over probably 15, 20 years, and it was just full of different pieces of Lego, and also my birthday presents Lego. And I would just I would make spaceships.
You had your kits, obviously. I remember I had a pirate ship. I had a pirate ship. I don't know if you remember it with the red sails, big one. But you still had these sets where you could just buy these 8-bit blocks or certain blocks, so you could create your own shite.
Now I have created shite.
Just going to shout out for all the people that followed. Thank you so much for the follows, by the way. We don't have the audio on, obviously, because then it interrupts the flow of the show and stuff. But thank you so much.
Your
follows. Your follows are fantastic.
Your flow show.
If you want to tie Lego into Star Citizen, though, some people have been and submitted.
Yeah,
Star Citizen models.
Star Citizen Lego, definitely. I would.
Some of them look pretty
buy
cool.
that shit and spend
the
hours.
Complexity of the Millennium Falcon, I would so have an interest.
Oh yeah,
could you imagine?
Proper big sets. Wow, yeah.
Would you? Yeah,
I think Lego with a basketball court.
Yeah, the little Lego basket is squared and drop through the hoop. Who made this stupid stuff?
What do you think should be the first Lego Star Citizen Lego?
Aurora or the Hornet. It's got to be something that is and the Hornet I think would be the main one because that's the original ship.
Something from Squadron 42, so maybe a Gladius.
Gladius.
But the Hornet was the first ever ship they had in their trailer. They need to honour that, I think.
No more Hornet love.
Yeah, 100%. No one else's
People have done fan ones, but I think Lego themselves have to agree that it's a good enough franchise for them to actually make it into an official.
Darj is low.
Which I think
I'm loud.
Thank you. That's normal.
There you go. Next is
damn it.
Since we're talking of Lego.
But on Lego, you can actually submit your own ideas for Lego. And Lego will, is it 10,000 votes? If they get 10,000 yeses, they will then allow that.
They'll make it.
Yeah. So we should just.
We must submit a saber design then.
That's the Mark 1 though, like the old Mark 1, not even the normal Mark 1.
Ben Lesnick Lego figurine.
That would be a good one. Would be a lot of bugs.
Amazing. And then you press the button and he dances.
That's that shuffle.
Yeah, Lesnick shuffle. Or you just wind it and it works. That would be awesome.
Wonderful. Right. So we'll go back to what we're actually talking about.
For the audio.
Darjanator, what have you been doing?
Nothing much really. Working on the car because I got a new car. So
how's that going?
I needed some TLC, so I've been working on that. And,
does it have LTI?
What? It does. It unfortunately doesn't have LTI. That's why it needs some TLC.
I need some
LTI
TLC.
would be nice to exist.
Yeah, that should
life.
exist.
Yeah, but anyway, not really much time for games. Drowning myself in YouTube, discovered some new channels, but then at 3 in the morning, I think sometimes I fired up a GTA 5 and then just, waiting for 3.0.
I thought this was going in a different direction.
Yeah. We are all waiting for that wonderful 3.0, which should hopefully, I'm guessing, I mean, I'm slightly off topic again here, but I'm 5 bugs in. I'm hoping Wednesday, Avocado, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Off topic compared to Lego.
Let's go back to the Lego talk.
Now this is on topic. This is good.
Off topic, but no, genuinely bugs. But we'll come back to that in a second.
Yeah.
Madness? No, not you, man. We won't leave you because you're still working on stuff. Mac, what have you been up to last week?
When was the birthday stream? 17th. That was last week, wasn't it?
That was last week, I think.
Ish.
Or you weren't on the one with...
yeah.
No, you missed last week's show because of
hungover.
Hungover.
Yeah.
You were asleep all day, weren't you, on the day off?
Wow, pretty much, yeah. It was a long day. But no, it was. Thank you everyone who showed up to the birthday stream. It was a lot of fun. I'm still dishing out the prizes, as always. 6 months later as well was last year. So it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of giveaways, a lot of just excitement throughout the whole stream. We drank a lot of beer.
You went from when, midday, was it?
It was about 2:30 till 2 in the morning, I believe.
No, I think I left at 3, and you were
in the morning.
Yeah, and you were still going.
You were still going at 4 o'clock in the morning, man.
Nah.
I don't know how long you went after 3, but I don't think long. Because you only had like one other thing to give away or something. But
yeah,
it was the slurring, and I was like, "You're so."
Yeah, it didn't take long for that to get in. I'm quite compass mentis, but when it comes to talking, nope. But no, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Just streaming YouTube videos. Other than that, I'm just waiting for 3.0. Seriously, it cannot come soon enough. And hopefully this week, off topic again.
Yes, off topic.
There was a new menu screen teased in AtV, so that was.
Yeah,
nice.
I saw that.
What's that? What?
They had the outpost in the background, didn't it?
Yeah.
New menu
for the home screen. Yeah, definitely.
We got that in the. We've got that coming.
I really hope they start doing something the same thing that Half-Life 2 did, where it basically just did a screenshot, or like it basically put a camera in the level where you logged out or where you ended, and then that was then as the live background for the main menu.
Oh, so you could pick and choose it then?
No, the game actually chose it from where you left off.
Oh, that's mint.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. So, you know, when you log in, you go, oh, yeah, I remember. I was drunk, but I logged off in Grim Hex or something.
Yeah. Your ship is just...
No, you guys got a part. Where the fuck did I park my ship?
Oh, that's what happened last night. Yeah, I remember now.
And Sol, what was you up to last week?
Oh man, I've been drowned in this game called Tree of Life. I don't know if you know it, man. It's like some sort of a Minecraft, but a bit with updated graphics. A bit like what's the new Sea of Thieves thing that's coming out? A bit in the graphic style like that. Very good fun, but very addictive and very grindy as well. But been having a lot of fun with that.
We like grinding.
For the rest of it, working a lot of commissions on for the iRacing liveries for the cars. I've been working till basically this afternoon on those. So yeah, we're all up to date now. And hopefully I played some Star Citizen with Madness, which was a lot of fun. I don't know if any of you guys...
You've been doing more than just that though, so don't sell yourself short, because you've been working. Let me see, am I allowed to show the design?
Has he been practicing his fighting?
Yeah, you can show the design.
Can I show the design off? Can I show it off?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
all right, so Sol's been doing this. So this is Sol's been doing... for a lot of people that don't know, Sol basically is a creative chap, and he's been wanting to do... what's the game called? iRacing.
iRacing.
So here we go. So Sol's been designing the skins for commission. Some gentlemen for their racing teams. I don't know if you guys know about this game, but you have to actually pay hard cash for the cars. And
what a waste! Why would you do anything like that in a game?
And so
why would you pay real money for anything from a game?
Who would do that?
Well, the way I look at it, Ryan, it's more a simulator than a game. And I think making the cars paid.
You didn't get the point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why would you say
Come on, man.
Sorry.
So
but it makes it very competitive.
This was your final design, wasn't it? One with the kind of like the sharks kind of thing with the sunrise thing. I think it looks pretty sweet, dude.
They look really cool, yeah.
I think it looks pretty sweet.
So you're going to do liveries for Star Citizen then when we get to create paint jobs?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Definitely. I would definitely do that. Eventually, we're going with the green design, so I have to change it around again a bit, but we'll get there.
The good metal color.
But so you take commission. So go check out Soul. Give him a message if you haven't got his Discord. You should definitely check him out. If you guys play that game, or if you want any kind of artwork for your Twitches, your streams, anything like that, go hit him up. He's always looking for commissions at the moment, and he needs to grow. So
anything to keep him off the streets.
Yeah, we need
something needs to fund that rum.
Morgans, basically.
That crack's difficult to kick, isn't it?
Yeah, so
it's it's something, and I haven't really spoken about it on stream because I like to keep private life separate, obviously. But as most people here in the podcast know, I decided to start my own company in graphic design. It is going to be a rocky road, obviously, but it gives me a lot more freedom than what I had when I was doing my normal job, which. That collection isn't the most fun thing to do, but I've learned a lot, you know. And I'm 31 years old now, you know. I think I need to move on and start doing something that I really want. And I can work from home, and I can chill out. I can play my video games, and if anyone needs anything done, and I don't like to advertise myself, but just come over. I can make great prizes
great prices, sucky fucky, anything you need.
I have a fence that needs to be painted.
Listen,
you can pretend it's a graphics design.
Yeah, exactly.
You could be like the
paint it anything you want.
Wax on.
Yeah,
fantastic. So definitely hit him up.
Shameless plug.
So myself, I've been really ill. As you can tell, I've still got a bit of a cold and a little bit of thing going on. But unlike Bio, I drank a big cup of Man the Fuck Up and managed to make it. So there we go.
For everyone that wonders where biomechanical is,
they're not wondering anymore.
They're not wondering anymore. They don't even know it. Who is biomechanical?
We're yet to locate him.
We're sending in the troops.
We have some ideas. We have
a search party going.
We have a search party going. We needed some translators for it, but we got it sorted in the end of the day.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've been sick, but I've been streaming when I can. Star Citizen. I had a really good stream earlier with a load of people came in, jumped in. It was fantastic. It was quite an interesting. We had a nice heated conversation. A lot of people don't understand. Like with me, I am very much when it comes to Star Citizen. I try to be. Yeah, I'm pretty salty, but generally people would know that. But I try to be very balanced. I'm not a pure fanboy. I don't drink the Chris Roberts Kool-Aid. I do drink the team, the CIG, in terms of the team that work hard, because I've met a few of them at BritainCon, and I appreciate how hard work they're doing, and I appreciate what potentially the game is. But at the end of the day, if I think something's shit, I'll say it. So we had a load of the I don't know if anyone's been noticing, but we've been having some streamers and some other people within the community who have been like doing the names and a few other kind of like, you know, Derek Smart and other things like that. I don't have a problem with it personally, as long as they keep it to a point where they're actually having factual conversations. So if they come in today into the chat and join us, that's absolutely fine. I don't really, if it turns into a shit fest, obviously people will get banned. And things like that, but generally,
we'll send Buck your way. We'll send Buck and Colby your way, and they'll fuck you up.
All I ever care about is that it's all based on like good adult conversation.
Followers.
The minute it turns all about those followers. I need the money, baby. No, it's just.
I had a lot of followers, and then totally banned the fuckers, and now I've like lost all my followers.
You did the same, Liz. You did the exact same on my stream. I had all these like stupid.
You don't need the fucking shameless followers.
And then you were like, ban. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, you know, let's keep these in. If they're going to say anything, then fair enough. But if they're just going to be a follower, fuck, I'll take it. I don't mind.
Yeah. So I don't have a problem with it, as long as it's an intellectual conversation and it starts to genuinely, like we talk about. I think there was a big conversation about in terms of the promise of like, I think it was 1,000. Someone said like 1,000 worlds or something. I don't know exactly. I'd have to dive into
the 1,000-player service.
Yeah, that was it. The 1,000-player service. That's kind of their main topic of conversation, saying it's not achievable, it's not doable, and so we had a really good conversation which about, you know, at the end of the day is sometimes things right now aren't achievable, but then, you know, in a few years' time, with like people didn't talk about procedural planets, and then they managed to crack that. So that's their goal and their aim. Sorry, what?
Can you do me a favor? Can you uncrop Darj a bit? My OCD is kicking in.
Just crop it out.
What am I doing? Are you being fucking serious? Are you disrupting an entirely intelligent conversation to talk about?
I see what you're saying.
No. You're not filling in the box properly, but check the Discord as well, man. It might be sometimes easy. He feels very secluded.
Yeah,
I'm feeling very claustrophobic, actually.
How's that? Is that better?
I'm just going to point out there wasn't a promise, as Southern Cross said. There's no promise to get 1,000 servers. They're aiming to do something like that. They want to do that. They want to achieve that, but it's going to take more time. At the moment, they're going to try and mesh the servers together, and they have an idea of how it will work, but they're still not at that point. They're going to try it, and if they can get everyone on one server, that is just seamlessly people jumping in and out of these instances. That's the end goal, but it's not promised, and it's just a theory that they think they can achieve.
Okay,
fingers crossed they will, because that way we can all take the piss out of each other.
I think this is, again, it comes back to that whole miscommunication, and I think a lot of people latch onto certain words and phrases, and perhaps they look at the things that they feel were promised to them.
Well, anything Chris Roberts or CIG says, they all just think that it's just a promise. It's not a promise. There's nothing that's been promised. It's just they're trying to achieve these things.
Because none of us have played a game by Ubisoft or someone like that who says they're going to do all these amazing things and then it doesn't appear in the game.
Yeah,
we've never experienced that, have we? At all?
No.
I mean, but just compare the E3 reveal versus the final product, and there you have it. And
we know
people do bitch about that, but I don't think I've seen people combined of all the games that have done that. I don't think the bitching has combined to what some people bitch about Star Citizen.
It's just it's ignorance, but it's not their fault. They just haven't listened to certain, they haven't joined. They've joined the game late and not listened to what people have said.
I totally agree with Ryan. I totally agree with Ryan. What you see at the moment? No, it's right. What you see at the moment, and I've noticed it, and I like constructive criticism. What you see at the moment is a lot of saltiness. Everyone's waiting for 3.0. Everyone's starting to nitpick on things. But I think what Ryan says is a great point. You have a lot of people that haven't followed since 2012, 13, 14, even 2015, that haven't followed that whole process and just jumped in late. And I know it's a lot of work, obviously, but if those people will look back on what we went through, and I think in Ryan's case 2012, in my case 2014, if you look what we have been putting up with, and the patience that we had, and the respect that I still have for Robert Space Industries and what they do, And I don't want to say it again, but I come from a time where I could only walk in my hangar, I couldn't fly around, I couldn't do missions, I couldn't hang around with my boys and try to join the same server for about 45 minutes until you're in the same group, It's
fuck this game.
No, but it's the charm, the charm of the alpha process, and if you have the patience to be part of this development and to be part of this journey, it's great. If you don't have the patience,
go somewhere else.
Don't try to jump in, you know what I mean? I say to people on stream still when they come in, say, oh, should I buy this? If you want to support development, yeah. If you have the patience, yeah. If you want the full game, no. Wait,
Yeah.
Just wait, and I'm always honest, and I would love to say, use my code and go for it. But if you don't have the patience to follow that development, and I feel that I have input in the game, we as a podcast redacted all the podcasts, all the streamers, Mac, Miz, everyone. Sherman comes here. Everyone comes here. They have a chat, and they pick things up from that. They will find out what the community wants, and they're very community driven.
Yeah, we shape the game, definitely.
We shape the game. We are really shapers of the game. And if you're interested in that and you want to throw some money at that, go for it. It's going to be something great, But keep that positive mind. And obviously, there are times that you think, I'm not sure. I don't like this. I don't like that. And I've had it in the past where I sprayed for 10 minutes. But afterwards, I think about it and I think, was I right? Maybe a little bit. But, you have to think about your things afterwards as well. And it's good to sometimes be a bit negative because you will see the positive things next to that as well again. You know what I mean? And if you want to be part of that process, go for it. If not, it's just not your game. It's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of bugs. Yeah, and I think it brings a lot of joy seeing things develop from what I said, from only a hangar to now the persistent universe that didn't run at all in the beginning and runs a lot better now, 2.6, you know what I mean? We're going to get the planet soon. It's going to run shit in the beginning. It's going to develop to something better again. If you want to be part of the progress, great, you know. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun in 3.0, you know. Even though we're all salty and we're all waiting, when it eventually gets there, it's like Christmas, you know. I'm not salty, but it's like Christmas, you know. In September, you think, oh, Christmas is coming, and eventually, when it's there, it's such a great experience, you know what I mean?
I just realized those people that bitch about the current state of the game, they need to be forced to play 0.9 like we were.
Oh yeah.
Well, the thing
Angels, what did you want to say?
Yeah, you go, Angels.
Just going back to what you were saying about people latching onto certain phrases and taking them as promises. A lot of that, people who haven't been here from the start, like myself, a lot of us were listening to some streamers who were not giving the correct information. So a lot of it's miscommunication between people like the streamers and the YouTubers. They're coming out with information that they've gotten from CIG, and it's information's getting lost going down the ladder, which is where a lot of the newer people to it, like myself, keep getting lost.
I think it's definitely it's a good thing.
Exactly.
I think she has a point there as well, and that's why I say if you really want to know everything, you need to go back. What did you want to say?
1 second. You've talked for about 5 minutes, and let somebody else talk. I was about to say Slider X in the chat. I'll come back. Honestly, it's fine. Sol, we'll come back to you. Slider X, because I wanted to be saying it. He says to me, and he says to everybody, he says, in an old ATV, when spoken about from Crisis to Lumberyard, they properly said now 1,000 people per server is possible. Before it was only apply 100. They said that it is not only They said it not only tried to achieve it for the future, so it is possible.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Problem right now is servers are still single core.
No, it's right, man. Don't worry.
I think
so as soon as they crack the multi-core virtualization and everything, then we'll be able to see a lot more players in.
I mean, isn't it? Don't you just kind of fall back to all this when people say, why isn't this here yet? Is it just it's alpha? I mean, we keep saying it over and over again, but you don't feel like how many times you say it's still alpha. This is why we haven't got this feature or that feature. It's freaking alpha, and it doesn't matter how many times you say it. People still say, well, they promised this. Yeah, they did, and they've still got time to deliver it.
But to be honest, the biggest problem is the communication between CIG and everyone else. That seems to be the only reason why people are like you were saying, Angel, is that streamers, I'd probably say stuff that I've heard years ago and try and put across something that is not actually accurate, but I've heard something a long while ago. It makes no sense now. But it is the miscommunication that seems to be the biggest issue. And if we had CIG giving out... But that's the problem. Unless they were saying the same stuff over and over again, week in, week out, there's no way to cover the vastness of the development.
What was said and what changed.
What was said. Like you
can watch change from 2013 to now, isn't it?
Yeah, it just changes so long, and things that we initially got told may have changed later on in development. But it is a miscommunication in all parts.
That's something that I wanted to say as well, Mac. You know, there are things, and this is things have been promised in the past that have changed. You know what I mean, for reasons that are not there anymore. Things that were discussed that in the beginning where they said it's not coming in are coming in now. You know, so with the long development, how many years are we in now? We're 5 years in, basically 4 years. Let's say 4 years. A lot has changed down the line as well. You know what I mean? Things have been put in, things have been taken out, and I think. What we do as well, maybe, you know, some people take that for the truth, you know, the theory crafting, but that's something that you really want to watch out for as well. You know, the theory crafting is just us having a fantasy or whatever. It's something how do you say this in English? Ideology.
Ideology.
Ideology. I can't even pronounce it.
Idealism. I don't know.
Yeah, we have a certain vision as well. You know, we discuss it. You know, Madness says, "Oh, I would like to see this." I say, "Oh no," or the other way around. You know what I mean? And don't take those things for granted. You know, we are just theory crafting, and I think that's the beauty of the development as well. You know, especially in the streams, I think it's mostly theory crafting because we don't know. You know, something could be set now, but could change next week. You know, and that's development as well at the end of the day.
But again, as Angel said, like there's miscommunication, but they have miscommunication even within CIG. Like how many times have they gone back and said you shouldn't have said that on stream? That's not true. You know, it happens. You know, they got 400 plus staff now. and people aren't all trained on what they're supposed to say on the screen and what
by Chris himself
ATV.
you know?
So well, that's it. And sometimes, don't forget, these people are extremely passionate about the game they're working on, and sometimes there's things that they want in the game. And they may get caught up in moments and say, "Oh yeah, we want to put this in or that," and then it might not be possible, or they have to adjust the realization of that. So nothing's unless they actually said we're promising, it's not a promise.
Yeah, it's a lot of theory crafting as well. Yeah. It's a mix of, and we discussed it multiple times now. Communication hasn't been great, but I think they're improving. You know what I mean? It's getting better and better and better and better.
Yes.
It is all. I think Board gets asked daily, doesn't he? That is he a CIG employee? So it's like if you're going to get that all the time, sometimes you just can't tell people enough.
It's like you can answer one question, someone else will jump in stream and ask the same question. You're like, scroll up a few. You can't.
Is 3.0 out yet?
Yeah. And the other thing is, the game is so complicated in what it tries to achieve, what it's already achieved, what it's planning to achieve. There's more to the game than it's just not as simple as saying this is the situation, this is what's going to happen. It's so in depth that trying to get an actual, and things change all the time. So they may have an idea as to what's going to happen, and then later down the line it can change, and it's too hard to keep up with.
I always say that the game and the way that this business is run is a reflection of the person that's running it. If you think of the person that was running Apple Mac, and you think of the type of product, and you think of the type of things that they were doing, simple. Steve Jobs always was on about, tactile communication, simplicity, making it so like your mum and your gran could pick it up. It was always about that, and he got the right team around him to kind of create that. You look at Chris Roberts, hands is all waving all over the place. The man you can clearly see the man's got a million ideas in his head. It's confusing at times. We talk about miscommunication. He comes across sometimes he sometimes does say things that he's not supposed to, and so I think that's a reflection. His company in the business is potentially a reflection on his personality, so it is a bit confusing.
Yeah, but then again, Chris Roberts doesn't employ child labor, so I think I'd rather buy a phone from Chris Roberts than Steve Jobs.
Definitely.
That's
the difficulty.
We don't know yet. We will wait and see.
The way this game is being produced is, as you keep saying, is not like any other game. So the problem is it's a learning curve. They're still learning the ways to produce this game, and they've made loads of mistakes, hundreds of mistakes. We all know this, but they are learning from them. Eventually, it may take a lot of time. Like we're banging our heads against the wall trying to tell them on whatever channels, but they are learning from the process, and they are evaluating it and then putting it out better.
They're trying to improve as well. The only thing they're not learning about is how they bring content and the way they say it. But I think in all of the rest of the cases, most things that they have done wrong, they have improved on. The whole soon trademark thing, that's something that I think they still need to work on. But in all the other stuff, they're always improving on it, and we have, what we don't want to forget is this has not been done yet. It's not like an Assassin's Creed where we're bringing out a new one. It is in a different area, but it's basically the same. Nobody has done something yet in the scale that Star Citizen is, so it's all new. It's the first one. If they afterwards are going to bring out content, it will be a lot easier for them because it's there, and I think it's going to be a benchmark for future gaming as well. This game, you know what I mean? It's going to show the capabilities of an engine, you know what I mean? The capabilities of what gaming can do. I think something like this and the scale of the project has not been done before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to move us on then onto the X1 concept. Yay! Talking about concept sales. Woo!
That'll please everybody.
Yay! Let's bring it up.
Have we seen any official imagery from it yet?
Yes. At Dragon Con, wasn't it? I think.
Well, we talked about it on the last time I was on, so that's not really very.
That was the only official thing we've seen.
We've got a date though. We've got a date, haven't we?
There's a slightly improved picture here. I don't know.
Oh, hello.
Whip.
Which is, they've looked like they've improved the texturing. Whip. Looks like the texturing's improved. It's got the kind of the glass.
A whip beer today.
Whip. Don't like it. Now this is the thing. I don't understand. We've already got 2 hovering bikes.
No, there's going to be more. It's probably being developed to compete against the Nox, which I think is I think that in real life you got Apple, you got everyone competes in business, so there needs to be a competitor for every ship. multiple in fact. So I don't see any problem with having the X1, and I think like the Dragonfly isn't going to compete with the Nox. It's too slow. So having the Nox,
that's
the Dragonfly.
The difference is though, dude. That's like kind of in the real world a little bit. I agree with what you're kind of saying. That's in the kind of real world. This is like the gaming world, and I kind of go, surely right now we need more ships that. I would have thought they would have ships that are. I mean, again, this is Chris Rowe, this is their team, but you'd want to have ships that actually have more of a purpose. I was expecting to see more of a another civilian
ship purposing again.
A civilian, like another hauling ship or a freight or a cargo or a truck.
Well, we will. I think they're thinking.
That's what the game changer is about, isn't it?
No, I think that's an industrial making ship. That's my guess. My guess is that's going to be for building stuff.
Like it. We have no idea, do we?
Stations,
but it doesn't really matter until these mechanics are in the game. It doesn't really matter whether the ship comes out now or 6 months from now. If the mechanic that the ship is supposed to utilize in the game isn't, it doesn't matter when you get it. I've been wanting to get my hands on the frickin' Carrack ever since the first concept came out, and Gurmag Basin was still an employee of CIG, but because exploration of jump points and shit like that is not going to be in the game for, I don't know, at least a year, I'm not that worried about the ship not being in the game yet.
No.
I'm happy to wait.
So, but then, by that logic, if you're saying it doesn't really matter, the kind of like, surely you'd want to have. I just don't. I honestly, I agree with what you're saying.
For the X1, because they're putting racetracks on planets for 3.0, so there's a logic there because the Nox cannot compete with anything. Otherwise, you're all going to be flying Nox. So I think they just
there's NASCAR, because every car is the same.
Yeah, true. So there will be flying Noxes, but I think it's just in case it takes them hardly any time to knock up a ship like this, like a single sheet, fight. So why not? Why not just put it in there for when? Well, it's not like it's going to be ready for 3.0, so that eradicates everything I'm just saying there. But you know the point.
Yeah,
anyway. I just want to because I'm just trying to push for my war truck. That's all I'm doing.
I want a war truck.
I just want
it is, man.
What a day! What a lovely day!
I'm just pushing for my war truck. I just want a big ass motherfucking war truck like Mad Max. I'm just pushing for it. Shipjacker. I want to see more dirty. I'm sick of seeing clean ships. I want dirty ships. I want fucking. I want to see pipes sticking out the side of things. I want to see skulls. I want to see.
Stay online after the podcast, and I'll show you some dirty shit.
I want to see some dirty shit right now in this game. It's too clean. Everything's so clean. Like Drake is meant to be filthy, and it's still clean.
Well, there's spaceships. Unless they're in functioning order, you're gonna die.
Have you not seen those easy habs? They're not clean.
I was gonna say that's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not the only one. Easy habs are horrible.
We've got another clean. Are we talking about the inside of the ship?
No, it was. But Madness, and how long have we had the Starfarer? Which basically...
A couple of days.
Has
yeah, we're not going to talk about the Starfarer because we talk about this all the time, but I just was like...
I think...
The X is coming out
overall, though, the art style you're after, I am the same. I'd like that sort of look, but I don't think this is going to be the game that's going to have... Unless they change it later down the line, I don't think we're going to have that sort of style of ship. Even like the worst you're going to get is like the Drake ships, which are meant to be a bit more cheap knockoff ones. Like that's about as rough as you're getting.
Ships.
It'd be cool if you could have like attachment points that were purely cosmetic, and you could just add shit onto the ship.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like spoilers and canards and tailpipes. Why not?
Well, what you could do is go to Tesco and get a couple of tins of tomato sauce and just throw it around the room for your immersion. And it's all dirty around you and you're still in a dirty ship.
Or baked beans.
It sounds like you've done that before, so...
Yeah, I just want Mad Max in space. Is that too much to ask? We've got the ship, and the reason why I say that is I got excited when JLee showed us the shipjacker stuff.
Yeah, that does look kind of cool.
And I saw it, and when I saw that stuff, I was like, cool. And I say this a few times on the podcast, and I still maintain it because I'm really adamant about it. I want to see more of their vehicles and more of that type of thing. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
And we have more skins just cobbled together and barely holding together.
Just cobbled together. And I mean, I know maybe some of that's going to come from the ability to do modular kind of like adjustment to the ships ourselves. So that's kind of cool. But I kind of think if at the end of the day, if they limit it so that you can only buy ships already kind of pretty much pre-made, then I want them to be able... I think they got the team to be able to design these things. I've seen their designs. They're amazing. I don't see why they couldn't do it. So like I said, I just want to see massive, great big engines, and like they've got like people who like taking parts from other ships. I am going to do it. I'm going to do it for them.
They basically want Reavers from Firefly.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I see the shipjackers. Yeah, Reavers.
Not quite. The Reavers were a bit super violent, whereas the shipjackers are more like evil, more aggressive.
Oh, have you met one before? Have you? Huh?
Yeah, we're on good terms.
I meant in regards to the ship.
We're good friends. Good buddies. Good buddies.
You're so misunderstood, mate. It's just, it's awful.
I'm so misunderstood. I'm going to go into the section which should be the Reddit section. Woohoo! The salt section. We haven't been salty enough already.
Salt section.
So,
back in a bit, man.
So we're reading so we're going to go through so basically there is a bar citizen in Japan.
Woo!
Which, if I was in Japan, again, I would love to go to. Definitely, if you're in Japan, go check it out.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'll bring up the link. I'll bring up the link.
That's your Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in German, just straight to German.
Go check it out. It's on Spectrum. There's the link. Definitely, very good. I think what's interesting about this is a lot of people don't know is that obviously in Japan they're very much based on consoles. You know, their whole industry is pretty much, you know, like PS4 and Nintendo and all the rest of it. That whole area is very much console driven. So for PC, it's not quite, you know, it's America and, you know, it's not really a big thing. So you've got to support those guys. That's why I give them a shout out. And then there's a Star Citizen Hard Space teaser trailer, which I don't know if anyone's seen this. I'm just going to bring out the video. Let's just turn the audio down.
You didn't say man, though, in that sentence. If I could go man, I would Japanese bar citizen. You didn't actually read it as you wrote it. I was hoping to hear that man.
Oh, sorry.
If I could go to this man.
I think it was already corrected.
What
Read
one?
it again.
If I could go to this man.
There we go.
I would.
Which one, Bob? Fred?
I like this. Whoever did this video, by the way, I'm going to link it. I think this is a pretty sick video. This is a cool video. I love the styling on this. A lot of the videos I've seen are kind of like, again, this is me just being filthy. I like it kind of the more 8mm, this kind of dirty kind of filming. And then I thought they did a damn good. This is a pretty good job on this video. I'm just playing it again.
You are a bit filthy, are you, Menace?
I do like a bit of filth.
We are going to see a lot of machinery, especially when the flight comes in.
Yes.
And especially when you can actually make your characters walk properly.
Especially when you can launch the game without it crashing. Yeah.
well, Meyer does it right, and I think Darj, are you part of the project as well that do these? Well, no, they create it
bulkheads
themselves.
No.
Bulkheads.
Yeah, that's through CryEngine, isn't it? I think. Is it CryEngine they use?
Yeah,
they don't.
I wonder what this is because that's much more. And I hate to use the phrase cinematic than what I've seen.
I think it's like clips, isn't it? From probably clips from in-game and clips from trailers.
Well, it's like a trailer, isn't it? It's like you can, as long as the trailer doesn't reveal the whole video, like films do, then it'll be fine. You just want Black Star Marine armor.
Dude, we were talking about this the other day.
This is why I go to a cinema 15 minutes late, because I don't want to watch trailers.
Yeah.
By the time the film starts, you need a piss. And it's like,
oh god, yeah, it's only like a 3-hour movie. Popcorn. All I need is another 30 minutes just to kind of make me need a piss halfway through the film. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I used to love that. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but IMAX, they used to have a policy at IMAX when you turned up to the IMAX and it literally that was the movie started. There was like maybe a brief introduction about IMAX, and then the film started, and I used to love that. And then now they bloody well start doing fucking adverts. I was like, and trailers, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh my god, I'm not only am I in a massive cinema in the middle, and I can't go for a piss for 3 hours. I'm just desperately hanging on.
This is something that I noticed when I came to England. So what we do in the Netherlands, you have they split the movie. So somewhere in the middle, you have like a 15-minute break, an intermission. So I went to and I haven't been in at least 3 years. When I just came here, I went to see the movie, and I was like, I said to my mate, I said, dude, when is this break coming up? He was like, what fucking break?
He's like, hold, just cross your legs, buddy, and pray.
Here's a big. They give you extra large Coke bottle thing cups for that.
They tried something similar over here. I went to see the Magnificent. The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
That movie actually had an intermission in the edit.
Oh wow.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but our cinema, in its all glorious wisdom, decided to put the intermission in the middle of a fucking sentence 2 scenes previously, and then when we came back, they rewound to the beginning of the scene. That scene played out, and then it was intermission.
Somebody intermission.
Yeah, somebody did not think this through.
But yeah, I mean, a good liter bottle is more than enough.
Well, the speaker
hold. As a lady, I expect a proper Coke dispenser would be the best option. I mean, a bottle is not easy, and if you get one of those,
you know what I was thinking?
There are tools that we could use to help.
Yeah, you can get a shiwi though, can't you?
Yeah, shiwi.
Camping. Yeah.
You don't want
you funnel that.
I was about to say you don't want to be in a situation though where it's dark and you accidentally hand the wrong bottle to the missus next to you after you maybe have relieved yourself into the bottle. There could be a bit of an incident right there.
I don't know. I had some pretty kinky good girlfriends in my life.
And she's still married to you?
They could go
sticking to what Ryan just said, camping. Ryan, do you want to explain your idea?
Oh yes, Staff Citizen Camp Fest. Now it doesn't mean what you probably think it means at first. Camping Fest.
Okay.
I mean, let's all just turn up and start acting.
Hello. How you doing?
I've got a dress somewhere I can put on. It's fine.
But yeah, I think we should start organising a camping festival for Star Citizen.
Oh no, you didn't.
Does that mean we're all gonna turn up and everyone's gonna go to a different ledge each, and we're just gonna lay there staring at each other?
It would be kind of weird.
All I'm getting.
Hi.
So basically, what we were thinking of.
Yes.
So everyone will turn up.
We're thinking of what's going to a camping site with Wi-Fi, do IRL stream, all like-minded Star Citizen people get pissed.
Not actually talking to each other, just talking to each other through streams
around a campfire,
around with GoPros on, not actually talking to each other.
I'd just like to know what campsite has Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly.
In the UK they do.
If you go to Germany, every campsite will have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I want to go camping there. In Australia, we got a tree. That's about it.
Glamping. Yeah.
That's your tent. keeps any rain. You don't get rain in Australia.
There's some pretty swish
Okay.
campsites in Europe. Several years ago,
Italy
during a road trip, I was in Austria. The facilities.
Good idea. Like that one. Sorry.
Sliding doors, marble countertops, gilded taps. What the fuck? Did I just walk into the Hilton? It's a fucking campsite.
I used to go on a holiday to Italy each year, and it was a 5-star camping site. You had Wi-Fi there. So one year we went with the caravan. I basically took my desktop PC and put it in the caravan. And my mate was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Do you know what we should do?
Because we had Wi-Fi with everything.
I got a better idea for your thing, Mac.
Go on.
You should do a road trip to go to visit all the CIG offices and film it all the way through. So you leave Britain, you go to Frankfurt, then you go to America, and then take from. You have to do a bit of a planes, trains, and automobiles kind of moment. But you have to go to all the studios.
Smart's house as well.
And you can maybe drive in LA, drive down, and then go to the different studios and hit every single studio in a period of a month or something.
Floor with that.
What's the floor?
I don't have a license.
I drive. I can drive. I've got a license. I can drive us. It's fine. We'll make it happen.
Okay, you sign me up. I'm down for that.
We'll rent a great big convoy. Who's in? Everyone just say.
We'll take a canoe and some rope, and God knows what could happen. That would be amazing.
Listen, we need to rent a car though. I've sat in Madness's car.
We'll get a Winnebago for Miz. We'll rent a Winnebago for Miz.
And a bucket just in case.
We'll make it happen. We'll get Bio can be the tour guide to get us lost on the way.
I'm down.
We can leave him behind. Okay, cool.
Bio is already in Frankfurt, is he?
Wait, Madness, Mac. I just noticed. Are you drinking the same type of beer?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm drinking. Buxton.
No, Madness. Sorry. I'm getting people confused. Miz.
Yeah, sorry.
Miz. Yes.
We're Budweiser buddies.
Sorry, I got mistaken. I thought you were drinking beer.
I've got a question for you guys. So
no, I totally agree with him. So I'm not going to say.
So
water. It's slightly better than water.
I was on the Spectrum, and there was an interesting thing. Someone has put a thing. It got quite a high number of upvotes, up to about 60.
Water. He insults Budweiser and then takes a swig of water.
I'm at least not pretending I'm drinking something.
We can stick a label on it. Sorry, Madness.
It's fine. But this was to do with exclusive hanger flares for people who have 2 accounts. So authentication. Sorry. So if you've done
not two accounts.
If you've done enable. Sorry, not 2 accounts. Sorry. If you've done a 2-factor authentication on your account, you would get. They want to be rewarded for doing extra security. So if you've extra secured yourself, you get a hanger flare. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with this idea. I think this is a good idea. What I do think though is that this should be an attitude change for CIG and their studios, is to reward people more. This is where I've talked about this before, about the day token thing being a punishment for not doing something, for not getting enough rec. You get punished by getting shit taken away from you, rather than being more an attitude changing to be rewarding us. Would I think being more proactive in that type of attitude would be a better reflection for us as the community. There seems to be too much like, oh my god, you've been really slagging us off, so we're going to change AtV and pull everything away. It's like parent to a child conversation, which I can't stand. More of an adult to an adult conversation is much more when you actually reward for doing, for doing good things. And I feel like the attitude of CIG, they need to do more of this. And I don't know if there's any more examples, if anyone knows of any examples where CIG has actually rewarded the community for doing good things. I'd be really interested.
I have no idea what you just said.
Is that them?
Do you not understand what I said? Sorry.
Or is this just someone's suggestion?
So someone suggested. I wish to make a suggestion. I'll put the link in this into
I've seen the post. I just wasn't sure if it was.
And he basically says
actually doing it.
Yeah,
because there are other games. I mean, when I had Star Wars: The Old Republic, they did the same. If you had the key fob and everything else, they gave you.
They already do in a sense with Evocati, right? Where if you put in a lot of bug reports and you spend a lot of time playing PTUs, you have a higher, and forgive me if I say it wrong, Sherman, you have a higher chance to become a member of the Evocati, where you can do a lot more bug fixing. Or do you mean it more in the sense of you want more shit like hanger flare?
Why do you need to be rewarded? Why do we need to be rewarded? We're back in the game because we want to get the game complete. We're not back to get special
the reason
treatment.
People normally reward 2-factor authentication is
about
because
mindset.
It saves a lot of hassle for the company when people get their accounts hacked. So it's not really
at the end of the
they
day.
do it as a reward because it encourages people to do it, but realistically, it's just so that people will go and use this service because they want everybody using it.
But they could equally
agree with Sherman there. We get a reward in the form of.
But they could equally flip it on its head. Like, if this is what I'm saying in terms of like the way that a CIG changes the way that they. No, but again, the thing is it's too much hassle. But yet, I think for me personally, that extra bit of effort from their side goes a long way and is actually a good positive thing towards the community. So it could be just as easy to say punish you and say, oh well, your account's hacked, you didn't do the 2-factor authentication, tough shit, blah 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 blah. Whereas if you go that extra mile, I think it just sets the right precedent and the right tone. And like I said, I think it goes in through. It can go through very small details, but it can go through a lot of things with everything they do. Just it helps. These little things just help.
I have enough shite for in my hanger, though.
That they don't need
work for them to make all these things. Yeah, I don't need more shite in my hanger either. You know what I mean? I don't need fucking drink suspenders.
It's not. Again, it's not about the hanger. It's about
something that represents security, like an automated turret or like a bouncer at the door.
I would love a bouncer at the door, though.
Yeah.
But I think I have to agree with Sherman in a bit here, but it's obviously a bit different than what you say, man. We already get rewards in the sense of, that's why we back to become testers, to be the testers, to be that next level tester in the form of Evocati is a reward in some sort of way.
No, that's not.
Don't you think?
No,
I'll feel that way, but
no, it's not because people are seeing it now, and now I've seen it on Facebook, and they're saying, "Oh, Evocati, they're just getting a special early access to the game." They're not. It's testing.
It's not fun being
It's purely for testing, and if you want to get in it because you just want a reward and you want early access to it, then you're doing it wrong because they need the information and they need valid information. There's no point just creating shit tons of bug reports that do nothing, and it makes it more work for them because they have to fish through fake bug reports or repeated bug reports rather than actually getting through stuff. So no, forget Evocati is not a reward.
It's actually a very difficult job.
It's something you get if you do what they need. It's just they're hiring you, giving you access.
It's essentially an unpaid job.
Yeah.
It's
just being expanding QA.
You're spending hours trying to even get into the game. Like what build was it, Miz, when you were spending like 7 hours just to try and launch the game? That's Evocati. That is. It's not a reward.
Yeah, I've had that, and I've also had where I've had 3 builds in a day and downloading.
But some people enjoy that. We have to not forget that as well. Some people do it for that,
Enjoyment. It's like
that.
Yeah, but we're trying to make the game better. is what we're trying to do. So.
Yeah, and the sort of people who do enjoy it are the ones who put a lot of time into PTUs and bug reports in the first place. So it is a kind of reward for them.
For them, it's a reward, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to do it. You know what I mean? It's something
not,
that
it's
I'm
not
a big fan
in the
of.
Sense Madness was talking about. I suppose.
No, it's a way different reward, but for those people, it is a big thing. You know what I mean?
It's just like I said, it's more about for me. It's just about a mindset, and it's about the little things, the little small kind of the way they do these little things. Just I think would help them with their PR. You know, and that's what I'm talking about.
I don't feel like I need to. I don't think. I don't care about being rewarded. It's like the way I see it is I back the game because I want the game to be finished. I want it to be made. That's the sole purpose.
But you care about being punished. You care about being punished, though, Mac. If they start taking away content from, they take content away from AtV or no. But what I'm saying is like your day tokens in Rec go disappeared because you haven't farmed enough Rec or whatever, and your only other way is to potentially either sub or you've got to play a game mechanic that you don't want to play in order to have to get Rec. Whereas
so far,
the game mechanic
point where I've felt disappointed that they've taken something away or they've added something.
That's
I've
fine.
Gone with the flow.
That's totally fine. I'm
just
just raising a conversation about it because I
find
the day token side of things to be a punishment, a mechanic that forces people to do things that they don't necessarily need to do, rather than rewarding them for doing a task. So, you do, like I said this before, if you do Arena Commander, I mean, they might change this. They might change it, but you do Arena Commander, for example. You do the Star Marine, whatever. You get special gear and get exclusive things for those activities that keeps people interested, keep people excited, keeps people going back to it, rather than forcing people by saying to them, hey, by the way, if you don't get this many Recs, all your guns are going to disappear after 7 days, or if you don't get this, your ship's going to disappear after 7 days. All this kind of stuff. No, your guns do. You get day tokens, 7 tokens. If you
day tokens, but a token only starts if you actually run the game. If you don't run the game, you still. But it's changing. All those tokens.
It's changing for 3.0, from my understanding. This is we'll double check this. That's going to be in the PU as well.
No. That remains the same.
I heard otherwise.
But I think I see where Madness is coming from.
Sherman just said in chat, 7 24-hour tokens that activate when you use them, not a punishment. So
it's that activate when you use them. Yeah, but it is a punishment though. If you can, if you have
only if you feel that way.
Let's just say I've only got this
way, man. You're punishing yourself.
No, but then let's think about it, right? I have a full-time job. I work every day. I love Star Citizen. I've got a kid, a wife, whatever. I can only play maybe an hour a day. I can't necessarily generate enough Rec during that period of time to recoup necessarily all the Rec for the spaceships, which are like 20,000 Rec or whatever. So what I'm saying is what I'm saying, and sometimes you jump into a game, you want to play it. Let's be honest, we've all played games where you jump into a game, 10 minutes later, you suddenly have to go do another task or whatever, and you can't get back to finish that time. That day token, that period of time that you've only had 5 minutes, is suddenly gone. And then the next day you're going to go, shit, I suddenly have to now make up the hour, 2 hours that I lost there to make up so I can get that Rec. And then, does that make sense?
I have something to add in about that. So, Madness, all the things that you can buy with Rec are luxury items. You do not necessarily need those items to play the game, because we have created a meta that we need. How are these things, the guns called, that we use on our sabers?
They're called tarantulas. You need them to be a winning. If you don't put the tarantulas or the guns,
indeed, it's a meta that we created.
Okay,
it's a meta that we created.
Stop. Right, Angels, did you want to say something first?
Go, Angels.
I was more thinking, calling it a punishment. I don't think that quite fits. I think that's more an internal state of mind where you see it as a punishment yourself.
Okay.
It's not an actual punishment that's being put in, because there are a lot of people who like that system. I like it because it means at the end of the 7 days, I don't have all this stuff cluttering my inventory. I can go have a look at new ships. That's me being a subscriber, so I get that extra Rec a month. If I had to earn it, I'd probably think a little bit of the same. I'd have that little bit of a mental block about it. But I don't think it necessarily comes down as a punishment.
No.
Yeah,
I reckon that's just a personal state of mind.
You are a subscriber, though. I'm talking more for the people that don't get 20,000.
When it comes to the main game, when the main game is finished, it's... Sorry, do you want to carry on, Angels?
I was just going to say, I've only been a sub for like the last 2 months. So before then, I was doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I was having my weapons run out, and then I was having to find people to come and bodge racing with me so I could get enough to go in and get my Panthers, to get my Saber going again.
Yeah.
So I do understand both sides of it. And that's where I'm saying I think it is a mental state of mind more than an actual punishment that's been implemented.
I mean, when I hire a car, I can't say I'm only having it for 7 days every time I use it. You've got it for that day or that week. That's how it works in life. So, but I don't think they're changing it. That's not how it is anyway. At the moment, it's your gameplay time. The same way as they've said that about insurances.
No, tokens go. Use it for 1 minute or use it for 24 hours. It's gone. Honestly,
to be honest, they're going to get rid of rec. I think.
I hope so. That's what I want. I want them to.
They've mentioned it. They've mentioned that they know that there's a problem with rec, and they will readdress it later on. But when it comes to the main game, they know that certain people only have 2 hours a week to play the game. So when we talk about this pay to win, it's not going to be a pay to win because there is no winning in the game. There's no winning. You do what you want to do. People can pay to get a better ship, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they win at the game better than anyone else. At the moment, we only know combat. So at the moment, you grind away more. You get better weapons. You will win. Now there will be a thing in place, I expect, where people can buy. Is it certain cash for a certain amount of time? They can use real cash to upgrade things eventually, but it's only going to be for those people who cannot play as long as someone else can play, because it's only a balance. It's a fair balance.
Yeah, you will be able to buy in-game currency with hard cash, but there will be a limit as to how much you can. So they want to limit the gold farmers and people who just want to, I'm gonna invest $1,000 into this game and get all the good stuff fuck everybody on the way. They won't allow you to do that. Even transferring money from other players to a single account is going to go through audits and taxation, so you won't be able to scam the system that way.
No, and it's not going to be a pay to win anyway, because you can have the
look
best...
at that.
Oh, good night.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good night.
It's not gonna be a case of getting the best ship, because there is no best ship. It's all determined by what you're wanting to do. Yes, you could probably pay for a bigger ship, but you're still going to have to use that ship to earn credits. It's not going to be a case of, I've got the best ship, now I'm going to win at everything, because there is no winning at everything. It's so varied.
I mean, just like in real life, like say you buy a bus and you want to make money, or something ostentatious. You buy a cruise ship just because you can.
Of course, we all can.
Yeah. And then you say, I'm going to use my cruise ship to earn all the money I can, because I know people are going to pay ridiculous amounts of money to get on my cruise ship. But how exactly are you going to do that? You're going to sit in the captain's chair, and then what?
Exactly.
Who's gonna steer it? Who's gonna serve food? Who's gonna clean and shit like that?
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Important.
Who's going to be in charge of the tropical surprise?
Tropical surprise.
I can just imagine running on stage with a pineapple. Welcome to the cruise ships.
But yeah, I'm just saying it's not even if you manage to buy yourself into a one of those situations, it's not going to be a win situation.
No, definitely not. It's not. It's not a game you can just buy in and win at.
I found a pineapple romper today, so I would be a good guy in my pineapple romper and my pineapple on my head. I would ask the guests to come in.
So moving on to JLee's this artwork. This is the light armor legacy, the legacy outlaw light armor concept.
You need to full screen and all that shit, because I'm looking at it in teeny tiny iStraino vision right now.
Okay, there we go.
Yes, thank you.
There you
go. That's better, man.
Thank you for that. It's all good. Thank you for letting me know. So yeah, we've got the the legacy. We're now. It's kind of cool. It's kind of got a little bit of a nomad-y kind of flavor with the kind of the cape. I love it. I can't wait till we get the flowing cloth animations in the game. I don't know if this is new artwork or not. It came up recently, and I was a bit like, if it's old artwork that's just been come out, it's just been allowed to release it. But I really, really like this. Because I really love the light art. I really do like this a lot. The styling. I know someone said about having some design issues with the holes here, and it's like, I was like, well, that looks like it's Kevlar there, dude. So I don't think a bullet's going to go through there. But
I know what you mean. It feels a bit more clothy. It feels a bit more.
Yeah, it's just got a bit more life to it.
Like fashion, life to it. Yeah. I see what you mean.
I can't wait for all the
more like outlaw and not really outlaw, but so it's like
Boba Fett. It looks like Boba Fett. It's more of a kind of a Boba Fett kind of bounty hunter feel
less
to it.
Sterile UEE, more like actual purpose behind it.
Yeah. It seems to stereotype outlaws to me. I mean, it kind of looks like it's trying to say, all outlaws, they're dusty, they're out there getting dirty. It's like they're saying you can't have an outlaw who's made enough money and dresses nicely that they can't have the nice armors that they have in the game now.
You make a really good point there, because it's like when people are creating like orgs for pirate orgs, they always make sure that the word pirate's in there, and you think it's too obvious. If you're a good outlaw, you won't dress like a friggin' outlaw. You'll dress.
Well, certainly going to go when you go stealthy. You just want to look like everybody else's basic common.
Exactly, which is something I have problems with people's depictions of ninjas. No, they didn't dress in all black with katanas and shit. They dressed just like everybody else, so they could blend in.
They might have done it at night, dressed in all black. They wouldn't have worn bright pink.
Even if I would be a good guy, even if I would be a good guy, I wouldn't mind walking around in this armor because I agree. It's cool.
It's like buying a Drake ship.
It reflects your personality, I think, more than are you a pirate or not. You know what I mean?
But now everyone's going to pick on you, thinking you're an outlaw. I'm just an honest businessman, and this lovely shit that I like.
I'm just trying to sell insurance, and I think this looks cool.
Like, I don't think it's very practical either. I mean, we've seen how the jets are working around, pushing people around space at the moment. Like, they're in the back of the shoulders and everything like that.
Yeah, with
now,
the cape.
I'm not an astrophysicist. Okay, I don't understand how gravity works at all, to be honest. But if you're in a low gravity field, and is that going to like start blowing around in your face? Are you then going to just so you can shoot straight and then lose your face?
The way I look at this is kind of the
this is the
flasher.
Think about this further.
This is the flasher. This is the flasher uniform. You can kind of get your kind of like your vents and stuff on the back and underneath.
You can keep full commando underneath that.
You could just flash yourself. Flash. It can be the flasher.
Yeah. Why is there a loincloth?
Oh boys, this armor.
Like the horns on the other one. What the fuck?
The thing is,
I like it. Sorry, it's just me. I like it.
Usually, stuff like this is used to cover up damaged or missing stuff. I'm sure.
Penis.
Like a penis, yeah, damaged or missing penis. I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he didn't put on the loincloth because, you know, he likes the look of it, or he thinks it's technically
it might be a beer rag, so he can mop his beer up if he spills it. It's just like,
guys, this is a planetary armor because you cannot wear this in space because you will basically crush like a tomato because there is no tomato. It's all the same thing. It's not a pressure suit, you know what I mean? It's something that you would wear on a environment with.
I've just never seen the point of capes. I mean, especially if you're on a scouting mission and you get a gust of wind, that cape's gonna go straight in your face. You might miss something in between.
It would be so funny though, wouldn't it?
I didn't know we were joined by Edna
I told you not to bring the frigging cape, for God's sake.
No capes.
You get what I mean? Like,
Reto girls, sucked into an engine. No caps.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be practical. It is it's very impractical though.
It's an amazing drawing though.
In every single situation, imagine going through a door in a Starfarer and your cape gets stuck in the door.
That's what I imagine. It's just all the doors, isn't it? It's like
I'm sure the doors are smart enough to not.
Boba Fett had no issues, guys. He seemed to manage fine.
We have no capes.
Boba Fett managed, and he had a jetpack
policy
on
the Starfarer.
He died though.
He got out. No one read there was a scene that they cut out where he actually does escape. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
What's this?
Spoilers.
Which Boba Fett actually?
Spoilers.
Wait, how does he escape with his head missing?
How long ago did that movie come out? I don't think that counts as spoilers.
The truth is, George Lucas didn't realize that Boba Fett was going to be so popular. I could talk about this for ages.
70s.
Because Boba Fett was one of my favorites. And he, if he had known he was going to be so popular, he would have given him a far more impressive death than the death that he experienced. And then the other thing is what's left to it is lots of extra stories afterwards and cartoons where they talk about how he actually escaped from the creature in the desert, in the sand. So he's not dead.
Yeah, you just ruined the whole thing for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Now I have to remember what the name is.
I've forgotten the name of the
sand.
Yeah, he survives it. Don't worry. He doesn't get killed by it. It's fine.
But no, going back to capes. I think capes are cool. They look all right. I think it's more based on the fact that they have, atmosphere on planets, so it'll be like, oh, that looks cool because it flows. But yeah, practically speaking, as you say, Angels, it's just fucking ridiculous because you're going to be like, it's not practical. And also, don't forget, when you in any FPS game, in the way that you pick up someone is movement. You scan the horizon, it's movement. If you're seeing a cape, you're going to be like laid down and your cape's like this. You're like, oh, fuck, I'm a sniper. Why did I choose a cape? It's going to give your position away a lot easier as well. I think it's more just aesthetics and the fact that it blows in the wind to look cool.
No, but going back, like I was saying, if you got missing armor or holes in it, and you're on a planet that's like lots of dust storms, for instance, then you would want to quickly maybe cover it with a piece of cloth. But it shouldn't be a permanent solution to.
You got the
if you can't afford it.
Yeah, an expensive cape. There you go.
He escapes, just so everybody.
He has such a minimal
his cape's burning
role.
In his
a minimal role in the whole of the first trilogy.
Yeah, good idea.
His helmet was cool.
Massive.
He's just so good.
People wear skinny jeans and high heels as well.
But did you see the art? Well, I think we showed. Did we show it off last time that JLee did for the verse?
I like that sort of
better
stuff. That was very practical what he did there. But you know, we remember last year's CitizenCon where we had the Nomad. I like that sort of stuff, though. You know, it brings character into a character. You know, it's if it's practical or not. You know, they'll probably find something where the aesthetics can't go further than a certain point. You know what I mean? That the cape cannot like wave in the wind or something like that. It will probably have boundaries in movement, but still make it interesting to look at. You know what I mean?
It gives you the swish. You can do like literally when someone's pissing you off, you just give them the swish. You know what I mean? It's just that's it. It's almost like a slap across the face. Darj knows what I'm talking about because like he's a musketeer. You have that over your shoulder, just like woo.
And how else are you going to get balls to chase you as well if you haven't got a cape easily attached?
Balls?
Balls.
It's important. The little shoulder
with the horn helmet that he had on the other design. If you see someone with a pointy horned helmet, you get the one with the cape. He attracts him.
So speaking of, didn't JLee actually make concept art of a guy with a horned helmet?
Yeah,
with antlers, not horns.
As well. I hated the horn. The whole thing looked good. It was the ship jacker that he actually created with the horns originally.
Joking.
And yeah, I just it was awful.
Sweatpants in space. That's what we need. Sweatpants.
Sweatpants in space.
Elasticated sweatpants. That's what the Explorer suit is, isn't it? It's made out of denim. I was so I was like, I love the Explorer's helmet, like, but it's just so like,
You don't like the denim? It's very fashionable.
It's just like looks like it's been made out of nylon. And they've got a little bit of kind of added it's a bit like, oh, come on, is that the best we can do? It looks like, basically looks like a 1990s version of what the future Explorer suit would be.
Do you think Levi will be around in the 2900s?
Definitely, Levi's will be around. It's Levi's denim spacesuit Explorer.
They should have sponsors from certain people like Levi, Coke, McDonald's, and just have them
Jenko jeans.
They'll do it in the game.
Anybody remember Jenko jeans?
No, never heard of them.
Oh,
I need to Google that.
GNCO jeans. Google it. I need that to be in the game.
Oh yeah, the big ones with the big,
super baggy big ones. Yeah,
the Raver jeans.
It's the 90s jeans, man. Those things.
Yeah,
that was the 90s when I had. All right, I literally bought.
Get on it, JLee.
I was at school. I was at secondary school. Went to a school party. I had a denim waistcoat. And I had those baggy pants. The most baggiest. The crotch was literally pretty much at my ankles.
I found a picture of
I was
Darj.
the fucking man. I was like, yeah.
I found a picture of
MC.
You really wasn't.
You fucking what?
But I was. I got
you really
so
much. I'll put it in the general
terror.
chat for you of the podcast. I found a picture of you.
I prefer my highly flammable shell suit that I used to have.
Oh, damn, yeah.
I had a purple and blue shell suit.
Wait, no, I was never that
Mine was
thin.
lime green.
Nice. Used to sort of...
Back onto the topic of game, what we're meant to be talking about.
What were we talking about? No idea.
The next thing I was going to say is, I don't know if you guys know, but there is a Spectrum... I don't know if you've seen this video. Hang on, I'm just going to bring this up real quick. Have you seen this?
Getting rickrolled?
Have you seen... Look who appears. Woo! So this is for Spectrum Enterprise. And guess who appears on the video at the end? A certain gentleman by the name of Chris.
Well, yeah, weren't you around when they were shooting that?
No.
This used to be Warner. This used to be Warner Cable, but they renamed themselves to Spectrum.
Because he's in the movie business, obviously. They
No, this is actually they went to CIG LA
and
and
did a whole interview, didn't they? And...
Yeah.
And so that's what I was bringing into the conversation. I was curious about this because it led me to understanding what other kind of parts of the business that potentially Star Citizen are going to be, or CIG, shall I say, will license out and do other things, maybe for film, some of the technology, will there be other games, mobile phone games,
it's not the licensing out stuff, it's they're using their technology, like FOIP. That's a third party thing. It's nothing to do with Star Citizen, but they've approached the people who create the FOIP thing, and they incorporate Star Citizen. It's just, I think, because CIG has such an influx of money. It's what?
Sherman is in that full commercial.
Yeah.
Who is?
Sherman.
CIG Sherman.
Are you Sherman?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. I'm in the full commercial for a second. Are you?
In the full commercial for a second.
For a second.
I like the way you've worded that.
If you link the second that you're in, and then we can look at it. But
and just leave that freeze frame on for the entirety of the podcast.
That can be the background, can't it?
Actually, stay around, Sherman, because I got something that actually does have your name in it, and in a second coming up.
That sounds like a nickname. Stay around,
Is it a tank?
You might enjoy it. It's not a tank. It's not a tank.
It's not a Sherman tank.
No.
He doesn't want it then.
But they're talking about this was somebody's done the Ark War. I believe this is a little mobile phone game or something. This is on Spectrum Reddit again. Someone posted that this game's not for kids. People are kind of making little games using stuff, which I thought was interesting.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It comes up every few weeks or so on Reddit. The game just uses screenshots from Star Citizen for its advertisement, and that's it.
I've seen this.
That's why
I'm really annoyed about this madness. So I remember back like 3 months ago, I was like looking at these mobile games, and they make advertisements. I think it comes up on Facebook. If you have your phone, you know, it will find advertisement and advertise this Viking game. And they had a screenshot of the game Banished. I don't know if you know the game.
Yeah,
it's like so you installed the game, and it was and I was like, what the fuck is this? It doesn't even look anything like the screenshot, and I don't know how the laws are for that stuff, but that's misleading advertisement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Illegal, but
it
really annoys me. The fact,
breaking the law.
Exactly. Having Star Citizen stuff and such a thing, it really fucking annoys me because it puts people on the wrong foot. You know what I mean? You think, I'm gonna have a cool 3D.
They'll have a legal team, Sol, I imagine, that will go
definitely.
Toast. The one-man
They'll
army.
toast these guys. They'll have a legal team for sure. We had it in footwear as well, where at Lacoste when I was there, they had a whole team that literally their job was to go around and find all the fakes and the copies and the people trying to use the name or brand in the wrong. You have to have it. You've got to protect your asset at the end of the day, so you have to have that.
Got to protect your ass.
So
I tried to put Van Duel on a T-shirt with me punching the Van Duel and got told to take it down. So,
did you?
It happens.
Yeah,
you should have just printed it in.
Are you serious, or is this a joke?
No, it's true.
Serious.
But it was Lando that tweeted me instead, like privately, and just said, "Just a heads up, this ain't gonna work." And I was like, "I'll remove that. It's fine. Don't worry about it." But yeah, it was me punching a Van Duel on a T-shirt, and he didn't like it. So, but it is
bloody sports fault.
Okay, so
tell me about it.
But you can use the logo on the T-shirt, and they're fine with it.
Do you know, this is one of the things that kind of slightly bugs me about things is when people compare ships that are totally different, really, in terms of scale.
That Freelancer, it looks fat. Now that is an old.
That's a Max.
Freelancer Max, isn't it? Yeah, it's still the old style thing. Compared to what the more modern Connie, is that Andromeda? Is it or?
Yeah, this is just the Andromeda, just a standard Connie,
model Andromeda,
And I just like, they're talking about like cargo space and stuff. I'm like, well, again, it's tricky to compare because I mean, it's
a step up from each other.
It is.
Yeah, I'm like compare it to the Cutlass. Don't compare it to a. I hate it when people do these type of comparisons. It's like there's not really a true comparison. You'd compare this.
It's a step up. It's an improvement.
Yeah, it's like, why are you comparing? I don't understand.
This is actually
comparing a pickup truck to an actual truck.
Yeah,
exactly. It's the process that I had, though, madness. I can see I had a Freelancer Max and I upgraded to an Andromeda because it had a bit more cargo space, it had a bit more room to walk around, and so I see it as a step up. You know, definitely not as a comparison because it's apples and pears. You know what I mean? But it's a step up, though. I don't know.
It bugs me when people do that. It really does. That's all. It's like it's not. It's because we're talking about misleading and just kind of like confusing people, and then people suddenly think they have to get this 300 and you're like, no, the Cutlass is like only $100, whatever it was, $100 when it first out. It would have been cool. I'm interested to see how much the Cutlass is going to be now. I'm waiting for that. Do we know if we're going to get
£965? I think.
Is that how much? I'm really curious how much it is.
Yeah, something like that.
Because if Eva Cardi's coming out in a couple, I'm ignoring Matt because he's talking shit. If Eva Cardi
been doing that all day.
$1 million.
we have to know what the price is. We need to know they're going to have to update the webpage, right? At the same time.
The stats page is getting updated, but don't forget something that I think they're hoping to do for a happy hour one week is talk about how the ship prices are changing, because the prices of ships are now component based. Because it's like if you buy a car and the wheels, the engine, and everything was more expensive than the car itself, you could just buy a car, sell all the fucking parts of it. Same for ships. They want to make sure that all the components, like the power plants, the gravity generators, the weapon, everything on a standalone ship, it needs to be more expensive to buy that ship than it is to buy each component individually. That makes sense.
Right down to the screws.
Yes, the screws.
I see what Mac means. If you could buy a car for the price that the parts are lower, then you could indeed assemble it and make money on it. That's not what they want. Obviously, they need to make a profit on it.
Thing is, if you were to buy every single part from the manufacturer, which in some cases you can, you would pay a lot more than if you just went for the car at the dealer.
You're paying for the actual construction of it, I guess, as well by the end of it.
No, just the raw price for the parts.
They also have
exactly. Honey, I'll get to it in a minute. Don't worry about it. I'll get to that.
And even then, you would pay like twice the price of a ship.
That fucks up everything I've said. But yeah, basically, it's thanks for that, Dodge.
Hey, I just recently bought a car. I know all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Albert wants 35 quid for a light bulb that costs about 40p if you go anywhere else to get it replaced.
Yeah,
Darge,
that's true as well.
Did you try to buy this car in parts? Did you?
No. But like I said, it needs a bit of TLC, and there's some parts that need to be replaced, and my wallet does not like it.
eBay. I tell you.
I know, even fucking eBay.
Okay,
buy a ship instead.
I'm going to talk to you guys about CitizenCon. So the title in CitizenCon, Exploring New Worlds.
Yeah.
We've been exploring this world for a while.
That was a face and a half miserable.
So what worlds would you like to see at the CitizenCon this year? What do you expect them to show us world-wise? Because this clearly, with the title like that, they're going to show us some worlds. They're going to show us some potentially weather environments. We've talked about weather before in the show. We've done a whole segment on it.
Maybe I want to see rocks. Some different kinds of rocks.
So I'm bringing up this Pandora is the kind of like the first thing that I want to see. Bioluminescent Pandora, floating rocks, kind of things that just don't seem to make sense.
That's cool.
Cool. Terra Prime. That's a good point. We've seen early concepts of Terra Prime where they've flown over it. So potentially we could see Terra.
Terra Prime. That would be sick, wouldn't it?
It would.
Underwater world would be nice.
There was a planet.
The Kevin Costner.
I say planet in Star Trek Voyager that was completely just a sphere of water in space. There was no core in it.
That's cool.
But it was actually man-made because they sucked up all the water from a planet and moved it to another location.
As you do. I mean, it's just a simple process.
Yeah.
A big straw.
So
and
siphon it.
No, you don't even have to suck because space is vacuum. So there you go.
Just switch it on.
Jungle planets, city planets, gas planets. Yeah. I mean, pretty standard stuff.
We've seen a few concepts recently when they were doing on one of the ATVs. Was it something like building the world or something?
Miss knows everything about vacuuming, by the way.
Oh yeah,
that's to clean it all.
Vacuuming, yeah. He's the cleaning expert.
Building solar systems, I think it was the ATV, where they showed us some not sort of semi-concepts of half-built places, very much jungle, but I think we'll see a big jungle environment. They keep talking about jungle environments, about how it's going to be crisis level.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Graphics.
Like if you're walking in between the trees, if they actually get that level of detail possible, that would be amazing.
And a big object comes jumping out at you.
Yeah, that's the environment I'd like to see. Like the real in-depth jungle ones. Give it the plant life, give it the animals. You know, really
PvP,
show us
PvP.
the wilder side, rather than just the desert plains and all these man-built cities.
Open tundra, haven't we? Just open moons that just have nothing too much to them.
Well, Lear had some trees, but they were all the same tree.
It's Lair.
Lair?
Oh no.
While we're on this subject, actually, it's a little bit not what we normally do, but there's a question on the form that basically says about if you imagine, do you imagine wildlife will be specific per planet, and if so, do you plan on introducing some wildlife to Arccore? I thought that kind of links in with what we're talking about with the look of the planet. Since we're talking about that, we might as well talk about animals and things like that as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about animals, because that brings up a whole world of conversation about cross-contamination and taking planets, animals.
Fall back on what Madness just said. What I would love to see is, and we have seen, I think, screenings of it, is like, how is Earth gonna look at that period in time? How has Earth evolved? You know what I mean? And then I mean, like, not only the big cities. You know, what has happened to the rest of the world? You know,
like have the polar ice caps melted?
Yeah, we'll find that out ourselves if we're lucky enough.
Is there like a glass shield to protect the atmosphere, like in Spaceballs?
Great movie.
But it's interesting though, like what Mrs. Like, you know, I mean, this is just getting really ridiculous. But you know, do animals breed and create more animals?
That's what I said to Mac. And we can create
in life, yes.
Yeah, we can create a little Wookiee
within the game. Can you
mating?
You know, like you could have those little fur things out of like Star Trek or whatever, kind of multiply if you like gremlins. If you put water on them, and feed them, they kind of.
I don't know how far they'll go to actually making animals. I don't think you're going to be able to. Maybe, I don't know, but if I wandered across two weird alien creatures mating, first of all, would we know they're mating?
Yes.
Are they fighting?
Yes.
Are they just shaking hands, or are they just actually sticking cock and balls? I have no idea. I don't think we're ever going to find out. I don't think they're going to go to that level of extreme extremities.
Because then you would be able to populate different worlds with. You could you could have a mission as your job. Your mission giver is to go and get animals from different planets and then take them and sell them. That could be like a whole kind of thing. Is like being an animal collector or whatever.
The idea I love to do, and it reminds me of Jurassic Park 2, where you have to go and catalogue the animals on the planet, so you have to film them, record them, take pictures, and watch their
sort
of.
That does that already, called No Man's Sky.
Yeah, like Jurassic Park. There was a something to do. Is it Jurassic Park Genesis or something? No, it's World. Where they, I think it would be great if we could catalog these animals, and then so like if you find a new animal, you can then create the name for that. Yeah, like No Man's fucking nonsense.
Yeah, but less procedural, more actual, more art driven.
Yeah,
it looks better than just a fucking weird thing that's
like
I'm a real human.
like the rejects from Spore.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah,
I didn't mean to say human.
Funny.
I would love to see such a thing, but hopefully leaning towards realism, though. You know what I mean? Hopefully leaning more towards animals that we are used to as well, instead of what Max says in the 3 balls and a stick. You know what I mean? You want.
I'm hoping. Well,
you know what I mean.
It'll be based more on
something that like evolved monkeys or evolved horses, or you know what I mean. But not like in No Man's Sky, where you think, "What the fuck is this creature? And how did they fucking make that?" You know what I mean? Yeah. They basically grabbed a fucking bucket and threw everything in it that they could find. You know, you want a bit of realism as well. You want something that feels a bit like, okay, this could be the real thing. You know what I mean? This could be something that it hasn't evolved into, you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind seeing like little dogs still running around Arcorp or something like that, you know what I mean? Like a pug or a French bulldog or shepherds or something like that, you know what I mean?
What would Angels?
Or a Bichon Frise, maybe.
Angels, because we're all blokes talking. What type of animals and things would you like to see in the game?
I'd more like to see like your natural, like your flocks of birds, or you fish in the stream sort of thing. Like I'm not too worried about, whatever that whole alien mating, whatever that was. I need to see that. What I want to see is like the actual, like, I don't even know how to describe it. I want to see the animals of that planet. I want to see the birds go through the sky. I want to see the fish. You know, if there's farming land, I want to see those stock animals.
Yeah. Do you want to see different types of stock
with the blue guys? What's this movie with the blue guys?
Avatar, the blue guys.
Avatar.
The one we
we talked about Pandora.
Smurfs.
Yeah.
Smurfs the movie.
Smurfs the movie.
The Blue Man Group. No, but Avatar still has like
Pandora, the bit that we started with.
It could be real. You know what I mean? It still has that feel that it belongs on that planet. I think that is what I'm looking for.
That is the one thing I liked about No Man's Sky is the fact that the animals were completely random. Like, they looked very unusual.
Isn't that what everybody hated? Because it was just that random.
I
like that. It was so random. It just didn't make any sense.
Do you know what? I'm with Mac on this one. Because it just fitted with the whole styling as well of the whole game.
You're not expecting to see a cow. You're not expecting to see things. The only reason they put animals in that we can recognize is because we can relate to it. There's no reason for that
cows,
in the game.
We need to be able to tip cows.
Like a two-headed cow, like Fallout.
We played Wildlands the other day. We could tip cows almost, man. I swear to God.
Post corgi. Yay!
We need to tip cows.
Well, we're going to get pets. We're going to get pets. So I'm curious as if we're going to be able to, you know, kind of like tame, like Monster Hunter style, tame an animal that we find that we like, and then it becomes our pet, and we can take it on board our ship and look after it and care for it.
Get a xenomorph on board.
Oh, yeah, that's like a Vandal. That's like years away, maybe a decade.
That will be quite interesting.
That technology is decades away.
But yeah, so
then it turns into freaking Pokemon or whatever.
Yeah, another game. Another game.
Tamagotchi. I don't know if you guys remember that thing, that little pocket egg that you had. Where you had to
my girlfriend used to charge people £5 to look after a Tamagotchi at school.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So
get them all lined up on the
genius.
Because we're going.
Is she a marketing genius now?
Money maker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Sherman Outpost. So we're talking about like the worlds and stuff. I imagine at CitizenCon, I'm expecting to see maybe some more like microtech potentially.
It looks very clean for Sherman Outpost.
I'm expecting to see. This is kind of like Sherman Outpost that they had there. I'm expecting to see more.
Did Sherman have a say in this?
Buildings, I guess.
Yeah, procedural cities. I think is something we'll see because they've found they've not finished it, but they've found a prototype, haven't they, for procedural cities? So that would be cool to see.
And they actually employed the people who did it in CryEngine.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the Banu's not going to be that big, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's going to be big.
They said it's not going to be that big.
It's going to be big. They're still fucking about with it, yeah. It's going to be big. They gave it to Manchester. It's going to be big.
Yeah. Manchester is the Texas of Star Citizen. Everything's bigger there.
I thought they gave it to Manchild.
No, they didn't give it to Saul.
I genuinely hope we see procedural cities. I really do want to see more of the procedural cities and the variations of cities. I'd like to see more variety of the worlds that they've kind of created for us to have a look at for this year. I'd love to have that. I
love that. I love the crane and stuff. That I think that is the sort of art, and I don't know if you still.
This is Art Corp. This is Art Corp.
But that's what I like to see, a bit of an evolved situation of what we have now, you know what I mean? It's still,
but then again, it's
recognizable.
Still 930 years in the future. It's going to be very evolved at this point. That's something true. I always thought was a bit weird. How is it like modern civilizations only existed, like from the Industrial Revolution has been, what, a bit over a century, but now 930 years onwards, and we're still basically.
And technology grows quicker.
Yeah, how quick we go for technology now?
Yeah, exactly. I think they put it in the wrong century. I think like 23rd or 24th would have been much more realistic. That's one of my pet peeves about this. Ooh. But back on topic.
Yeah,
so as Angel says, weather's going to be really interesting. I think weather is going to make the whole environment sound and feel realistic. So hopefully we'll see some more weather on moons as well.
Blade Runner feel for sure.
Yes. No, or just go. Yeah, I think you just have to go to Beijing for that Blade Runner feel.
Don't forget, talking of Crusader, what are the other places? Crusader, Microtech, Hurston, and Stanton. We have seen them actually building in engine Crusader, Hurston, and Microtech. They have in engine, so they must have advanced over the last 6 months since we saw those concepts. So they could potentially be what we see as Stanton.
In the last ACV, when they showed you, I think it was, I did a clip of it, I haven't got it on me now, but they showed a little button which had city on, I think it's on the lumberyard or whatever.
They confirmed that it's, on Reddit, somebody just typed in that it's basically just random extra menus that you can add in the editor.
I hate it when they do that stuff. It bugs me. They're just deliberately trying to catch us out. But if that's true, I wouldn't be surprised if there is kind of like a city button though somewhere, or a kind of a slight variation for doing procedural cities.
Well, it's not going to be a button. It'll be like a huge toolbox for everything. Yeah.
Boom!
You press the button and then it becomes a big toolbox.
Instant city. Tropical surprise.
Talking of tropical surprises, for you, so I was thinking like for these luxury ships, so for like the 890s and things, I genuinely want to take it to these type of beautiful beaches.
But that's what we said last time. If you with a couple of mates and your 890 jump can dock up in some sort of a laguna where you have like a rave with a lot of raviness, where you have
raviness. Oh, I want to go there. That sounds magical.
First problem, you got to find a couple of mates.
Raviness. Oh, brilliant.
I don't want to go as a ravy skull.
Oh, that's a great
I
t-shirt.
can see myself on top of the 890 jump in like a bamboo skirt with a pineapple on my head singing
Doing
I like
the raviness stuff.
I like to move it,
And that won't be outdated by then.
And my next one is like, because of what we've seen and stuff, I was thinking maybe they'll do dome for some of the cities could potentially be domed cities on the kind of atmosphere.
That's cool.
Area.
That's
so I was thinking we haven't seen any of that. We're like fully domed cities.
Microtech's domed.
What is the circle for?
Not the full. Is it the whole city domed or just parts of the city? Because I can't remember.
Well, Microtech's a planet, but the main landing location, I think, of Microtech is domed.
Is it domed?
I think so. Yeah, I may be wrong, but from the concepts,
I'll have to look. Hang on.
I believe it's completely domed. For the main city, there will obviously be other settlements around Microtech. I expect.
Microtech. I couldn't find a good size for picture to chuck it in for some reason earlier.
Chuck it in there.
I'll find it now.
Chuck it.
Okay, so
there's basically domed structures that have.
There it is. So that was it. Yeah. So I was just looking at the. Oh, hang on. Where is it called? Yeah. So that's the domes are here, and then but it's still what I was saying is like a full domed. What I was saying is a full dome city, which I thought was really cool. Like the whole.
Is that circle for a reason there?
It's just a picture. It was a picture.
Carrying a hula hoop.
It's just a picture. It's not my. It's just someone's
picture.
It's old artwork. It's an old NASA. It's an old NASA picture, and I like the fact that it's like really old NASA picture, and it's got like with the kind of the biodomes and stuff. There's actually an old NASA picture which has in Inception where you have the circular, the city that they build at the end where they go, which is like fully circular and has. They actually did that. NASA it's like way back in the 1960s and stuff. Some guy actually designed that concept. It's really cool. But yeah, the doming stuff's cool. I just thought it'd be cool to have a fully domed city. That's all. Microtech. I want to see more of this. A walk around Microtech and Snow Planet would be great.
The problem with domes on a snow planet is, snow is going to gather on the dome, so you have to keep cleaning them up.
Someone constantly cleaning it. Like, you just melt it off.
No, you do heat sensors in it.
Yeah,
so we found a new job.
Melt it off.
A new job for Star Citizen.
Stay.
Dome cleaner.
Dome cleaner.
Dome.
Can I polish your dome?
Fantastic.
I love Angel.
Angel
reactions.
Like,
what have I gotten myself into?
It's just like, what?
She needs to just like talk over you guys because you don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just
I've got my kids are absolutely screaming that end of the house down at the moment. They've just woken up.
Woohoo! Yeah, we did tell you that this goes on for a while, right? So my next thing is just like no one's really been talking about, or maybe they have and I haven't been listening, but no one's really been talking about seeing more of the aliens, the physical aliens. So more of the Xions, more of the Vandal, more of the Tavarian, more of the kind of the human variations, the Banu at CitizenCon this year. No one's really been talking about it, and I was just kind of like, I was just curious, like why no one's kind of excited about, like we've seen a few bits of them.
See it. Probably.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm excited. I was like, we're going to see exploring new worlds and potentially new aliens and that kind of thing. But I was like, it would be cool to see more of the Banu, more of the Shia, more of them fleshed out and actually.
It definitely would. Yeah, it would. I mean, we've seen. They've shown off a couple in them like trailers, haven't they? With the Prospector and that over Gamescom. When they were showing those ship trailers, they had a couple of. I know they were standing still in that, but it would be nice to kind of see a little bit more of the aliens, see them doing something. I don't know if they're even there yet though, because like they haven't got the female character.
Yeah, I think maybe they'll hold off on Vandal. Sorry, Dad, go on, mate.
Yeah, the Vandals at least are in engine because we saw that in the driller reveal.
Yeah,
they had a Vandal holding a torch on a cliff, overlooking the entire thing. So they are at least in engine.
They need to for Squadron 42. If we're going to get a Squadron 42 trailer, I'm hoping we're going to see.
I think they'll hold off. They'll hold off on revealing the Vandal and wait until we play Squadron 42. A bit like the address. They're not sure whether to give us the address now or wait till Squadron, because they don't want to spoil it. So I don't think we'll see Vandal until we've played Squadron 42, because they want to have that fear factor. If we come up against them and we fight them and we've seen them in flesh, it's going to be a little.
We know how to tackle them.
Yeah, we've already been there, They want to have that fear factor because they are like 8 feet tall. They're scary motherfuckers.
I'd like to see a picture of a Vandal and a Xion having a bit of a tussle, or a Xion and a
tussle.
Xion or Jean, but it's never Xion. That's a faux pas.
What do you mean by tussle? Like a
have a little bit of a tussle, bit of a tussle, bit of an arm wrestle.
I oughta.
I challenge you to
argy bargy. Just a little bit of the old, bit of a pushing each other, like kind of like that usual football banter, like kind of threatening but lots of posturing, but nothing really happening. But no, I mean, I'd like to see them next to each other. Does anyone know if there's like a picture of? Is there like we have ship
hugging.
Scale? Do we have
just
like?
Wants to see space hugging.
Just want to see space loving, hugging. I just want to see like the scale as well, because we know the 9 foot. Do we know what the measurements in terms of like? Has anyone done like a scale in terms of humans? Vandal?
There isn't an actual scale to it, but they have put like an image like that up. Which...
They have got one.
There was like a cover of a magazine, I think. It was like an in-game magazine, or was it an actual magazine where they had all the three?
Someone's got it. That would be awesome. Here you go, Vandal scale PNG. Yeah, I've seen that one, but I was thinking of all the aliens with humans like next to each other.
The scale of things to come.
Everything scales. Yeah.
I just.
Is this like something official, or is this something that people have?
No, it can be done by people, but based on the official scale. Do you know what I mean?
That was an official image, but it was a long time ago, so I'm assuming that it's that scale. Like they are that tall compared to the human race. Which, if they are that tall and they're like melee weapons, I'm fucking running. I don't care about my teammates. They can survive on their own. I'm out of there.
They are big. I think it's gonna be pretty scary to see those dudes.
But that's why they'll hold off on. If, like I say, if we fought them already, you're going to be like, we know the weaknesses. They're going to wait until we get into Squadron 42.
I think, I'm not sure if this was said officially, but I think the Xion are shorter but stockier. Basically like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
I thought the Xion were really slim and like ninja-like.
The Xion?
No, that's the Banu.
That's the Tavaran.
And Tavaran.
Tavaran and the Banu, yeah.
Oh, I'm fucking
I'll bring up. I'll bring up.
The Banu are the purple Groots.
That's the Tavaran.
The purple Groots. That's a good way of fucking.
And then the Banu. Hang on,
I think.
That's the Jan there, that we're looking at.
Yeah, that's the Jan.
That's Tavaran.
No, that's Tavaran. Sorry, that's the ninja. That's the Tavaran. They're like the eagle people. The best way to describe them.
Yeah, the boys.
The eagle people.
They're like got beaks. They look like eagles.
I'm gonna like this Jan. I think they're
That's
pretty
the
cute. The little turtle guys, you know what I mean?
And then the
you have to wait for the stream delay.
That's the city. Sorry, the Tavern City, and then. Yeah, I know there's a bit of a delay, unfortunately, and I'll bring it up. Yeah, I'll hold it for a while.
The blue and red armor one, that's the Tavaran. The ones in the desert, that was the Banu.
The Banu.
Ah, okay.
There we go, Turtle Boy.
The Turtle guys is the Xi'an.
Xi'an, yes.
Yeah. I'm not a turtle. I bet that's what they say all the time you confront them about it.
And then we know what the Vandal is. And then we've got the Shipjacker, which is the the English ones, and then we've got the UEE humans kind of armor. And there's a great thread here that talks about there's a great thread in all the designs and stuff from the beginning till kind of now in terms of all the armor.
There were horns, there weren't antlers. I was right. That's the bull.
There, that one.
For the cape.
For the cape, this one.
Yes.
Doo-doo, there it is. I like this as well. Pointless but brilliant. But I'd like them to do skulls that are alien skulls. So not just like
that would be very cool.
Like a Vandal skull. Kind of parts of the Vandal skull.
Yeah, because that is a skull we're all recognizable.
Yeah, it's like okay, I know that's an animal in the earth, but
that's a big.
Do you guys think that Miss is coming back, or do you think he had enough?
Hopefully not. Hopefully that's it for the day. We can cut his feed.
He'll be back.
I was gonna say, like in Predator 2, like when he went onto his spaceship and you see all the the trophies of all the skulls, and there was one of the xenomorph.
Yes, he had the xenomorph. Yeah, that was awesome. I remember that. It was like, what? That's so cool. Very, very cool. But no, that's as a bounty hunter, that's what ultimately, if you're a bounty hunter, you want to be able to collect those kind of trophies, and nothing better than regaling your gear with the kills that you've done.
Yeah.
just the ears of the people.
The ears of the people, like in Universal Soldier. Yeah, exactly. You're like, cutting off, or scalping your enemies.
I would cut off the pinkies.
How would trophies for a bounty hunter work? I mean, essentially, all these people are going to be running around in. It might be a large selection of armor, but essentially, it's all going to be pretty much the same. How are you going to differentiate? Okay, I caught that person. That trophy is from that person.
Yeah, that's true. It's more going to be names and rep rather than actual trophies. I don't know. Like maybe they take their weapon that is. Well, it's like
specialized. Yeah,
a very strange comparison, maybe. But for example, For Honor, they all have the similar helmets, but you can put different things on the top of it. So like different add-ons.
I think
that look different. So, for example, like the Romans hat with the red thing, or it could have an eagle with the red thing, or just only the red thing. They call it like spoils or something.
I would say to answer your point is I think fighting against other people will probably be the same kind of gear because we'll be buying it. But but fighting against NPCs and computer generated things will generate potentially trophies and gear that you won't get off of other people. Or you could get it off other people if they found another person. So, I've gone off and killed somebody, part of a mission to go kill a certain type of Vandal chieftain or whatever, and that gets me a really sweet piece of gear for my arm or something off of a Vandal chieftain that you can't get anywhere else. You have to go do this particular mission, which is really difficult, and you have to go do it, and you get your bounty, and it's all part of the experience of being a bounty hunter. You get these special missions that lead you down.
Maybe like you can label them. If you take the helmet, then you can put a label underneath. I was here. I defeated.
Yes.
But you're right. It's not going to be a case of being able to just get a trophy off of every single bounty you kill.
No,
I
think special bosses
are going to do that. Maybe the blade that they used while you were in hand-to-hand combat would be cool. This was the blade of Dread Pirate Roberts or whatever. But
what about a bounty board? You just have it scribe their name.
Yeah, honestly, this is belonging to.
Honestly, I did kill them.
But I love the idea. I love the idea of them having, like, say, for example, one particular boss in the game, and he has a particular wicked sword or something, right? And that changes ownership. So when you die, that gets handed to whoever the next person is, and this sword is the only one in the game, and it gets handed out amongst them. There could be one bounty hunter,
like a legendary,
a legendary piece of gear that nobody else can get unless you kill them.
Work, yeah.
And
you know what I think would. You know what I think would really work? It's sort of a digital system. You know what I mean? Where Magic Wizard, a digital system. You grab a bit more wine, digital wizard. What I think would be cool, like a digital system where, for example, if you run into someone, Madness, that you're fighting, that you can see it on your Mobiglass or something that he killed your mate 10 times, or someone that you know that he knows 10 times. You know what I mean?
10 times, your mate will be gone.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's like just an idea. But you could see that this guy is very skilled in fighting because he grabbed the codes of the digital codes of the people that he killed. You know what I mean? And those are his trophies. You know what I mean?
The thing is, digitally, like the metadata and stuff, you will be forever known as the destroyer of that particular bounty. So that is going to be a thing. Yeah. You'll be recognized as the person who took out Dread Pirate Roberts or whatever.
So is that like part of the their take on the Nemesis systems from Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah. I hope so. I hope they do.
But yeah, trophies wise, I think Angel's got a point there. You're not going to be able to get a trophy from everyone because it's just going to be a helmet of whatever that fucking person was wearing. You'd be like. Honestly, I know like millions of other people use the same helmet, but it was his. You're like, buy it at a fucking shop and then.
I can see a ship in Madness hangar when he opens the door. All the helmets fall out. They come rolling out.
Ignore them.
I think it will come from the NPCs, the exclusive gear, rather than from
legendary items.
For the initial period, but I think eventually, as we as individuals gain gear off of NPCs, then potentially you'll start taking that gear, like in PUBG, for example, like you're saying, someone's taking a gun from here with a silencer, you'd be like, oh, I want that bit, thank you very much. You'll be picking gear off people that way, potentially, or they've got a better piece of armor, I want that armor, blah, blah, blah. But it's still, then it comes down to ownership, and this is to do with that whole, like, if I die, then that armor, I haven't earned that armor, so that armor's gone, right? So unless I've managed to go... this is what I'm really curious about, is unless I go to an area and then claim... You can't, you're just going to have to buy it, right? So once you're dead, it's gone. Goodbye. See you later.
What are you on about? What do you mean armor?
Let's just say no, it's because I'm still struggling with subs.
You never finished the sentence there. You just said 3 different sentences without.
Yeah, I know, because I was like going through it and then I was going, no, I need to change that. No, it was like when you get the armor.
It's time now.
Yeah, sorry. So this is like to do with like because it's like I'm trying to.
I see what you mean. What you want is basically a special piece of armor that gets passed on from player to player to player. But I think such a thing is very hard to do. I would love to see it.
No, they've already.
It's very hard to do.
Are you talking about physical and legal ownership here?
Yes, this is what I'm trying to get to. Sorry, I've got like there's 3 things. What you said, Saul, is what I said earlier. But then what I'm trying to talk about is like the physical ownership of. So say, example, you die in a gold piece of armor that's exclusive, like heavy armor I've never seen before. You die in it, and I kill you, and I want it.
Grabs that
and I want
of
it.
Armor.
I take it off you.
Yeah.
It becomes mine. I then get shot a bit later. It's then lost off of me, and then it goes to another person.
Why is it lost off of you, though? Why is it lost off of you?
No, they've taken it off of me. So they've taken off my corpse. And then, but my point is I then don't earn, like in other games, you might suddenly said, you now have achieved an ability to buy that piece of armor from from somewhere.
Again, survival games that will work. I think.
You can't. You've unlocked this piece of gear. Is what I'm saying. It's
that's not a case of
traditional.
It's
that's
more
the thing.
physicalized than just unlocking.
Yeah, it's going to be one instance of it instead of just getting the ability to get it everywhere.
Yeah, that's why I like other games where you get that.
Yes,
no,
that was why.
It's more like
that's why it took like 5 sentences to get there.
Yeah, sorry.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Yeah.
Would you guys want to see, for example, you've been grinding for certain pieces of gear, Mac, for 3 weeks, a month to get something? No, just an example. I think you could give me a great answer on that. So,
excellent. I will try.
Would you guys want to see that they can only take a certain amount of pieces of your gear, or would you guys love to see it as in a survival game where they can take every fucking thing that you have?
No, they should take everything you have. Because then you can insure certain things. You can. I think they said that you're going to be able to insure certain items, like FPS items. But if they kill you, they should have access to everything.
Everything. Okay.
Maybe even your pants. So as long as you
I don't think they want my underwear
clean down there, you're going to be all right. Otherwise, you're going to be embarrassed.
I now want to go around telling people just to take their pants.
Yeah, everyone just
That's the trophy.
That is my trophy.
That is your trophy.
Angel's fucking hanger is just a load of pants.
I'm on about the UK pants, not the American pants as well. You know.
Yeah, we're talking about underwear, right?
Miz is going to sell used underwear.
No,
but I just don't want them to go to
Angels said she
such
wanted a trophy.
realistic levels that will actually have skid marks and shit on them.
I forgot to wipe my ass, so joke's on you.
Here's my really smelly spacesuit, because we all know that you're going to smell now really badly. So smelly spacesuit. Yeah, lovely. I really hate that. I hope they did ditch that idea.
Just smell keeps rotating around your helmet.
It's definitely smelly, you know. It'll definitely smell.
We're speculating right now.
We're speculating. We've lots of speculation. So then we're going to move on to very briefly. So happy hour. Just going to give it a little shout out to Ben. There he is. Woohoo, Ben! Woo! Nice to have Ben back again. I'm glad he's doing well. His eyes are good. Look at him with his Wing Commander. He's giving us the Wing Commander 4 experience on happy hour, which I'm not. I only joined Wing Commander at Wing Commander 5 Prophecy. This is Ben, he's a young man.
Yeah. He's actually increased in size now, like height-wise, because his eye problem would cause him to hunch. Yeah. So now he's actually a lot taller than he was.
Interesting.
For years. It didn't grow. It didn't
actually grow from his eyes.
He just stood up. Let me rephrase that. I've now grown another
thing. My eyes, now I'm about 3 foot taller. What the hell? Medical science. Amazing stuff.
Amazing. Amazing. So now we're getting on to the meat of the show, because we
now
that was just the beginning. So we've got the burn down.
I need to go back.
Well, before we get on to the meat of the show, should we just remind people that if they want to ask questions, exclamation mark question in chat, and fill out the form and ask us anything you want.
We got the 5 seconds part, which is burn down an ATV. So we've already discussed about the 5 issues.
To get those questions in there.
Yeah. So we've done. So we've got the burn down ATV. We've got the five more issues focusing on from the guys. I'm expecting Ivocati this week, if I'm being honest.
I am. Yeah. Agreed. I really hope so. 5 bugs
I'm
left.
not holding my breath.
No, I am, because they changed the way they're approaching it. They are going to finish a feature, and then they'll give that to the Ivocati, and then they're going to work on another feature, and then add that to the Ivocati. And once all those are done, then they're going to PTU in live.
So I think people got a little bit mistaken by how many bugs they fixed, didn't they? It was not so much that, they just reclassified them, basically, so that they could get it out.
The difficulty is, though, they can't generally say that those 5 bugs are going to be done this week, next month, next year, because it depends on how difficult the bugs are to actually fix. So when people say, well, they've only got 5 bugs, so it's going to most likely be in the next couple of weeks, you don't know.
No, they could be really difficult bugs.
Yeah, they can either come tomorrow or wait till...
and depends on how interconnected they are with the features that are coming later.
You could fix that bug, one of the 5 bugs, which will implement 20 more blockers.
Everyone's very keen to try and get...
They don't know. It's the way they work on the game. Hopefully.
They don't know until they have people repeat the same bugs over and over again in different situations, maybe where the bug arises, where they say, okay, we have 5 approaches that cause this bug, and then they need to filter it all out. So getting it out to Ivocati, I think, with the bugs is a good thing, because people will generate a bug.
Yeah.
Or this generates a bug, that generates a bug. I think it's going to be a good thing to put it out there that way. I think that's what Ivocati at the end of the day is for anyway. These people love that.
Yeah. What was your point, Madness?
No, I was just going to talk about air traffic control now.
Okay, let's move on.
Because honestly, Burnout for me, it's like 3.0 is like the bugs coming. I agree with Angels. I'm not holding my breath. I mean, it's perfectly possible that in the process they fix 2, they could find another 15. It's perfectly possible.
It's relative, isn't it?
Could happen. Could happen.
I think the key thing from the burn down basically was just that they were now changing, like we said, move the focus, and they're now changing to the first couple of hours of experience for a person in the game. So
that means
what I mean. They haven't fixed all the bugs. They just
traversal and navigation. That's what the ability to actually spawn in, fly around, quantum travel to the whole place, to land on a planet. The basics of actually moving around the system is what they're focusing on now. Things like the economy. I don't even know if missions and ship customization is going to be in or not.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the main basics of moving around in a fucking ship. Let's get that sorted first. Then they can move on from that.
Because we may not know it, but it's going to be so much different than 2.6. The underpinnings of it is gonna be so much different from what we have now.
Yeah, it's a big update, and the thing is, with this update, with 3.0, it's changing a lot of the actual game itself. So once they've got 3.0 in, then potentially the game, the full 3.0, then potentially the game production and development will increase. Time scale wise, it should increase because that's the groundwork. So
isn't my understanding is with 3.0 we're going to be getting the Delta Patcher?
Yes.
I'm actually hoping that that's going to mean that maybe like once a month we can have a new patch pushed out to us.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe once a week, as soon as they get a ship complete.
Yeah, as soon as they fix something.
No, but bug fixes, as soon as a bug is fixed, they can push it live. They don't have to...
There's no reason. It'll take 2 seconds to download a bug.
Listen, I totally agree with you guys. I would love to see that. But Sherman, every show that we talked about this, Sherman said, we're not going to do that. We're only going to push patches out in the same way as we're doing now. I think what's the point of the Delta Patcher then? You know what I mean?
I think we'll get bug fixes and hot fixes, but I don't think we'll get content
features.
I think
features and
we might get them more often than now, but I think because dropping a ship into a game could cause a hell of a lot more bugs. So I still think that would still maybe go through the Evocati process and then drop through the Delta Patcher. But I think like the kind of bug fixes we're getting, like they just said, we're going to get the 2-hour experience. Then what they do is if they fix the next bit, then we'll probably get that maybe patch filtered through sort of thing. Like open up.
Yeah, no, waiting for content, I completely agree with that. But like way back when, I can't remember what the patch was, but we had the body in the cockpits for Arena Commander. That drove me absolutely mad, and actually drove me to the point of quitting for a few months.
Yeah.
You know, if they had the Delta Patch then, you know, they could have found that bug, fixed it, and gotten it back out there before people started losing interest with that bug. Because that was there for months.
Totally agree. I definitely think big
it's
bugs
still
like
in
that
there.
Will definitely come
in
on
very specific situations. You can still get it.
But also, don't forget that every time they push a patch, it costs them money to allow us to download. That's why the Delta Patch is so important.
I'm about to say that's why we've got the Delta Patch.
Data, it's the data that we download.
We'd have to redo the whole game. They just give us that bit that needs to be fixed.
So again, it goes back to if they fix one bug, then yes, they're not going to just suddenly give us another update because it still costs them money for millions of people to download that whole thing. What on earth are you throwing at your children right there? That's child abuse.
We have it recorded. Somebody call the authorities.
Kitty. Hello.
Fuck off, for God's sake.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
My kids keep raiding the fridge, and right now there's a heap of chocolate hiding on the top shelf, so I try to just scare them away from them without screaming at them.
They've all just heard that now, and they're going for the top shelf.
Whoa. They're literally standing on each other's shoulders now, trying to get to it. Like,
3 kids and in a trench coat. Yeah, the top one is getting chocolate.
Is so important, not just because of us getting the content, but it's gonna save them a fuckload of money. And obviously, when everyone complains that what are they using the money for? Well, not that I complain, but that is a big saving. Is the fact that every time we download the game, thousands of us download the game. That's like 30 gig that they have to push. That costs them for us to download it. So it's so important to get this out, not just for the sake of giving us quicker updates, but it saves some money. But yeah, it's not going to be every patch.
But it's for internal use as well. Because they're patching between studios all over the world, like several builds a day.
Yeah, I think they've already said they're using it now, aren't they?
They're using it internally.
Yeah.
So the next thing was the air traffic control, because I figured this is going to be a good 15.
Oh, now we finally get to Madness's favorite part.
This is the fun part. So this is the fun part. The air traffic control bit. So
where's the link? Oh, there. He's put me in.
I hated the Californian guy. It's all that I'm saying, man. I didn't like it at all.
And down.
Don't go to Levski then.
Where'd you come from?
Stay away from Levski.
So you guys,
But is he going to have like a half-hour chat before you actually land?
Well,
hey, how's it going there?
Welcome.
Let's talk about it.
Unlock your ship until you get here.
Let's discuss this air traffic control. I can see quite a few problems with it.
Let's not discuss the cockpit.
No, we won't. I'm ignoring that bullshit. We all know my feelings on the Gladius cockpit, and
I love it.
It's
I like the hangers.
Deeply flawed, but this is interesting.
Hangers are sexy.
I love this section here.
Can I That's going to be in Grim Hex, right? Because if you remember the back of Grim Hex, they have these type of opening things on the back of
That's Levski.
Yeah, that was
I know that's Levski.
Maybe, but this is Levski.
They did say that Grim Hex was supposed to have hangers as well, didn't they? That, and a racetrack, which never made it in, which like gambling and so forth.
I know. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that if they've done this on Levski, that maybe they might have added them to the back of Grim Hex. Would be quite cool.
It's either going to be NPC or it's going to be AI.
A little sneaky surprise for us to enjoy.
Like a tropical one.
Like a tropical thing.
Like a cheeky
hey,
surprise.
Tropical surprise, motherfucker!
For anyone that doesn't know, go watch I'll have to get this as a permanent link now, I think, for the tropical surprise. And
just
the tour guide. We need the permanent link.
Exclamation part, pineapple in chat.
And you can catch up on the shenanigans that was Soul's Tropical Express. Tropical Express.
Listen,
I'm on about Pineapple Express now.
If someone can help me out, I basically need a knitted cap in the form of a pineapple with like the green bit sticking out as well. It's going to be an item on stream, basically. So need something like
Should
that.
be an emote somehow.
Yeah,
gonna be an emote.
So this is a great one. So have you seen the Richard Advocado, the Captain Richard Advocado? Avocado, yeah. So we're gonna get the solitary pineapple. So I'm in discussion with some people that are very good at making emotes that are going to put me into a pineapple.
I think this is a great idea.
Sorry for interrupting there, Madness.
I think this is a great idea. I think we'll get that done.
Oh yeah, I've been timed out. Because I posted a link with a pineapple.
Permit Darge, please.
Ban him. Just ban him. It's easier.
Yeah.
I'm not touching it because I always end up banning people by mistake. I'm not touching it.
Oops, did I ban you? Sorry.
That's
just my fucking viewers that you ban.
Give me the wrong
one. Just your viewers.
There you go, tropical. Yay.
Just permit me forever.
Permit, there you are, Dash. You're permitted.
I don't see it.
What is this?
I've linked
What's
it
this?
Anyway.
This is exclusive hanger flare.
Yeah, ignore the hanger. That was an old copy and paste by mistake. I forgot I still had it copied and I just pasted it by mistake. Oh god, just drop a pro stream right here. Pro stream.
It's the better copy and paste though that you can have. You know, you can have worse ones.
Yeah, this is true. It could have gone really wrong, couldn't it? Can I just say the guy on? Did you know? I think this guy could be the dude's cousin.
What are we on about?
The fuck are you talking about?
Guy, it could be Soul's it could be Soul here as well. This guy's got a little bit of the California guy.
It's me and Max Lovechild.
It's a little bit. There's this little bit of a similarity going on.
We love this man. He's definitely a Cali.
He's a Cali dude, man. He's such a.
Ever seen Flaked? He reminds me of every character from Flaked. Just chilled out.
The devs abide.
The dev abides.
Exactly. Good line.
He's one of these surfer dudes, you know what I mean?
Brian Chambers' younger brother.
Yeah. I'm excited to see some new characters. We've all been basically, just talking to Tessa for a very long time. So
you actually just hover around there. Like,
how are you? Well,
how is life? How are the kids? Everything all right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm literally I like Tessa, but I've just. When you kind of just tune off, generally, you just switch off that kind of part of your ear when she starts talking. That's pretty much what's going on.
Oh, no, I love Tessa still, Beacon.
Beacon.
I love her. Tessa is bae, indeed, JLee. I totally agree with you. Tessa is bae.
So, but this is
just
interesting.
Give her more lines.
More lines.
No. Her voice drives me mental.
I agree. I am sick of hearing that stupid. Every time I jump there when I'm streaming, her voice is so. I'm like, just shut the fuck up.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Don't you think that's going to be like most of the game if we keep playing it till it's released?
But also, the actress who does it was in. What's that students series that that comedian guy? Oh God, has no one ever seen it? No.
Student series with the comedian guy?
Yeah, she was
a bit more there. You need to give it a bit more.
She is an actress from
Sophie Wu.
Sophie Wu, yeah, she was an actress in a TV series in the UK.
That's really annoying.
At university, people going to university, and she was a really irritating character in that. Supposed to be irritating, and I instantly just took a dislike to her. So every time I see her or it's like if you watch a soap, you look at someone and you think, you're a nasty bastard, but really they're a human being and they're acting. So
she wasn't Kick-Ass as well, right?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
I think she was.
Everybody goes for IMDb.
Everyone's going to check it.
Exactly. It is...
Known for Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass too.
I'll find it and I'll scream it and interrupt someone when the time comes.
Exactly. She could be Xian. She could be...
Fresh Meat.
She could be Tavarian.
Never heard. Ooh, she was in Black Mirror. Wow, okay.
That's pretty cool.
Fresh Meat.
Can I Google that without any... Can I Google that
how this has got to do with air traffic control?
I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about. I was still trying to get back to air traffic control. So, like, for me, I was just curious. Like, do you guys think we were talking? Me and Miz were talking about smuggling, and potentially, scanning ships when they first come in on air traffic control, and then being able to see that you've got an illegal contraband on board your ship, and then we'll send you got Tessa on board, you've stolen her,
we need her back.
And we need her back because you've stolen her. But yeah, do you know what I mean? And then they take you to, and they direct you to a quarantine or a specific landing zone, so that when you meet the police, holding area, maybe you meet the police, and they'll come and scan or check you, or you'll have to pay an extra fee for the whatever it is on board, because obviously we know that Levski's not, UEE, so they'll probably maybe just want to take a cut of your illicit goods rather than.
Do
you mean you're blackmailing
insurance money?
Yeah, certain areas, and I hope it is certain characters, not just certain areas. Like I hope it's not every time you go to Levski you can bribe them into letting you pass. I hope it's going to be certain officials in Terror may allow you to pass. Go on, Dodge. You're just fucking holding off to say so. I can tell. I'm going to keep talking to stop you from saying it because you're bursting at the seams. I'm just going to keep going because I can see you just want to say it.
I was stretching.
Oh my god.
Oh really?
That's them climbing on top of each other trying to get that chocolate.
Pretty close. They were climbing the cupboard.
Oh god.
It's when life is a threat that you need to intercept.
Yes.
You're going to fall and kill your sister. You need to get off that cupboard.
What? Oh, no, she was climbing on top of him to get up.
No, that's
teamwork.
That's just smart.
You should have got him a bit of chocolate just for doing that. I'd be like, well done, that's good strategy. Like that. Here you go.
That's some chocolate.
Where are the terrorists?
Hey, I play 5 red. I play 5-star red, so it's all about rewarding the terrorists. It's all about rewards, positive rewards.
We're going all the way back to the way we started the
podcast. Not about punishment.
I'm just wanting rewards. Bloody hell.
Back again. I'd love to swing it around. No, but yeah.
I beg your pardon. What's that got to do with anything? You can swing away.
Swing it round. Just swinging it round.
Just random comments in the middle of the round. I just swing it round.
Oh my god! Here we go again. I'm not even drunk. I haven't even drunk anything to get drunk. I'm just high on.
I'm alright.
Cold medicine. But yeah, I think the mechanics. I think the potential of the flight coordinator thingy, the ATC, is really interesting. It could open up a lot of really fun gameplay. Can you build up a relationship with one of the air traffic control people who could?
With Tessa.
He wants romanticizing issues now, doesn't he?
And you might be able to, kind of like get past
romance.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, baby? How you doing?
Have you guys never wondered what's Tessa going to look like in game? Is there going to be a mission where we're going to meet Tessa in game?
I think she's an AI.
I thought she's probably as well.
Or
she's not interested. She's a synth. She's going to ruin your dreams.
The computer on the probe became sentient and just got really, really bored.
Yes. No, but
killed everybody on the probe.
One day it's like, hello, it's Harry.
I was concerned. I don't know about
One
you
day
guys.
it changed its voice.
I was very concerned when I first heard about air traffic control in terms of slowing the game down again another level, waiting, queuing up to get, because I could imagine if people start to get really bored and have to be queuing up, you can imagine when people get really frustrated, the tutting starts from the British.
They will have AI that also work as well as the yes, they said so. It's going to be that one guy that is there saying, "Oh wait, I've got someone else on the other line. Yeah, you can come down. Oh, sorry, hang on. Yeah, you can take number." They're going to have AI as well that work alongside it. If it's getting, it's gonna, exactly.
So they're gonna. I'm glad I made that document for you, Madness.
No, I know, but I know what you're saying. I'm just saying it for the people that
just watch AtV yourself as well next time.
I've seen it. I'm saying some people might not have seen it. I know.
I'm hosting a podcast, but I have no idea what's happening.
I know what you're talking about. I'm just for the people that maybe don't know. I'm just.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's for the people that don't know. I know it.
So many times.
It's not for me. It's for my brother.
Right.
I have a friend who was asking
goodbye.
It's not just going to be a case of there's one guy saying you can have number 6, you can have number 5.
He's having a piss, and 20 people are waiting.
Well, what they said was basically the AI is because we know already that because of the subsumption they've got the whole way they're actually going to be living. So if you're on the station, you can look at them and you can see them talking to the people on the ship. They can be busy, or they may well even go for a piss. We don't know what they're going to integrate into the game. But obviously, when they're busy, yes, you're going to need other people to handle the other ships coming in. So you will have the AI talking to those people. But obviously, if all the pads are full, then you're still going to have to wait. So you will be in a queue for that.
Certain times you will come. If it's not busy at all, you will talk to that guy. He will come up physically in the engine. In game, so you can be stood watching this guy talking to another pilot saying, please come in and down, as he says. You can actually watch the whole thing play out. But if he's talking to someone already, I think the way that he talks to people will need to be quicker. I don't think a Cali guy is the best idea of a guy who can make things move quickly.
Maybe you can mute him as he's talking. Like he can talk, but you just mute it and all right, mate, get over it.
But yeah, the AI will then, it won't be a face, it won't be a random AI face, it will be just AI speech saying, you have been allocated pad
I think
9.
in Australian accent would be better for an air traffic controller, to be honest.
You what?
They have a very an Australian accent.
Are you talking about an actual Australian accent or those over-exaggerated country Australians?
No. So in iRacing...
What is your accent? Is that over-exaggerated?
In iRacing, in iRacing, they have a guy that tells you if there's a car next to you. For example, they call it your spotter. They have a guy with an Australian accent, which is very easy to hear and very quick talking. You know what I mean? And it's very, I think for most languages, also very, very easy to understand, very clear English. You know what I mean?
Anytime I go to America, they ask me, am I Australian or English? Every time. Sorry, carry on.
So when you're on your stream, everyone asks you if you're Scottish. So
yeah, what the fuck? I don't sound Scottish at all. What the fuck is that about? Sorry, so carry on.
He tells everyone he's Scottish, by the way.
I am Scottish, MacArthur. Go on, figure it out.
Listen, my surname is Vogel. I'm not
MacArthur Glen, isn't that a shopping centre?
MacArthur.
Hey, Birdie.
Yeah, MacArthur Glen.
Birdie.
It would be kind of cool. Duke Slayer said, like, wouldn't it be cool to have actual people doing the air traffic control job?
You can do
that's going to be shit.
Flight Simulator.
That's going to be shit. That's going to be shit.
But they said that the station,
you can land. It's clear.
You can land. You go ahead.
Something that made me think this is a possibility is that they said that the station that the air traffic controller actually works on has. If you see Sol, just be like, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Fuck that. But they said that what you see actually on the screen is going to tell the AI air traffic controller that there are how many people are in the, like ships are in the vicinity, how many ships want to land. So potentially, if the screen is telling you the information that you need to direct ships to land, and the AI is automatically seeing this sort of stuff, then real people can sit down at the station and actually use that to direct people. So there's no reason.
But Ryan, have you
stand in front of the AI and block the screens? So you can't see it.
It will be on a rep basis. If you are someone who is literally constantly got a Captain's Morgan glass and curly frizzy hair, then yeah, people are going to look at you and be like, "We'll find someone else, mate. We'll call you."
But Ryan, have you ever been to Mackie D's and the person behind the counter, was new?
No.
Wasn't what?
I've never been to Mackie D's.
I've used the automated system where you don't have to speak to anyone.
You mean if you've ever gone to any place where somebody's new and has a beginner badge stuck on
it's going to be a real problem. And then next to that, you have
Trainee.
the trolls as well. The trolls you have as well. I played this game, not Flight Simulator, what's the other one? P3D. the proper simulator, and people simulate air traffic control as well. Some of them are just fucking about and sitting there. You'll get them, you know. You'll get them. You'll definitely get them. The assholes that just want to troll people. You know what I mean? And I think having that combined system of the dude that walks around but can walk away and then gets picked up by AI. I think that's a great system. But please do not put people in there. You know what I mean?
If a Cali guy can do it, I'm pretty sure anyone can.
Yeah.
Like, you start putting players in there, you're going to have the people who are going to start griefing. Yeah. I mean, the people are paying like their in-game currency for insurance. They're going to lose rep if they die or if they're involved in some sort of accident that's going to affect their rep. And it's all going to be put back to that one player who's supposedly in control of the air traffic control.
And he's going to help his mate get in first.
Yeah, not true.
You know what I mean?
But that's why this whole player rep comes into place. You know, like Uber, you can see if someone is a rapist or a murderer before you accept a taxi. So they will have player rep.
What Uber do you use?
Have you not used that Uber?
I was about to say...
Not like that.
I'm going to delete that app. I didn't think it was official, to be honest.
I'm not getting in the taxi with you when we go to Germany.
Matt, do you live in London by any chance?
But no, you will be able to see this. Like, if someone is... like, if you hire someone and they turn out to shoot you in the back of the head, then you could be like, yeah, 0 out of 5 stars. He's no good. So it could be... There could be certain jobs with the UEE, with the official locations of Star Citizen, where you have to have a clean rep in order to do that. So people who are good won't get punished.
Higher people skills, 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, shoots in the back of head.
Do you know what? I was thinking...
1 out of 5.
Do you think, you know, like they said they're going to have the automatic air traffic control. What they need to do is talk to the guys that do all the voice packs, and we could get like different famous people to be the automated voice. So when
you need a pad,
yeah, exactly. You could
try number 3.
Can you imagine the fun you would have? Imagine the fun you could have if you could just program it.
Brian Blessed, for fuck's sake!
I'd love Brian Blessed.
It's okay, I'll find somewhere, mate. Okay, see you later.
I would love the really ditzy blonde to try and direct me to land. That would be hilarious. Kind of like explaining.
If you want to go down imagine Nubifier telling you how to land.
I'd never work in there. You won't have to worry about the dits. I'd never work there.
Get out of the chocolate cupboard! And he launches a ball.
Instead of throwing shit at you, it's like a warning shot from one of the automated turrets from the station.
Deadly Angel's custom chocolate firing weapon.
Angel's parenting skills 101.
Fantastic.
That's what we need a book on.
So let's go to.
Hello.
Shall we? Oh, hello, little ones. Hello.
No, away from the chocolate. Off.
Hello.
Chocolate is a lie.
Oh, aren't they adorable when they're that age?
Yeah, it's when they get a little bit older, then they're a pain in the ass.
So have we got any questions? Does anyone know if we've got any questions? I haven't checked yet. I need to look in the. If you've got any questions, please fire us some questions. You can also exclamation question in chat, and we'll spend the next half an hour trying to answer these questions.
Who signed up to this?
What?
What's that?
Nothing.
So okay, carry on. Is that all the whole thing then covered?
I think Madness is over it.
What about smuggler discussions?
I think so. I mean,
podcast PvP section.
The smuggling stuff was to do with what I was saying, and we'll chat about we'll chat about that later. I think maybe.
Well, yeah, going back over that slightly though, I don't think the air traffic controller system, at least on this iteration, or what they're talking about, is to scan the ships. I think it's literally just giving you a place to land.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that's going to be coming on later, and I'm not even sure how they're going to do that. Well, they may scan every single ship, because that will be an interesting thing to discuss. I think maybe when we got some more information, because if you want to bring in like goods that shouldn't be contraband and that, then that might be the use of something like a rover or something, like parking away from the station and driving it in rather than flying in, if you can get in that way.
Yeah, I mean, do you think...
Or maybe it's an automatic scan when you go through the doors of the hangar, and then they just close back behind you if they find something and don't let you leave.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would make a lot of sense.
Just
as
blow
well.
up the ship before you arrive. That way they can make sure that no contraband goes.
I wonder if they'll have like you know, like the Death Star has like in space for the space stations. This is have like a tractor beam kind of thing where you can't leave the station. You know, if it will, you know, you'd have to get Obi-Wan to try and unpower it down or something.
Obi, where are you when I need you?
Where are you when I need you? No, but you know what I mean.
Just put locking clamps on your ship.
There may be like parking locks that stop you from taking off. I don't know.
Or just close the door.
That would also stop people from taking off. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
it depends if you can
Maybe
maybe. But then, yeah,
I don't think that stopped me.
Yeah, you can still blow the door away.
I'm going for it anyway. Smash.
I'm going and through. Hopefully the lag will be really bad. Someone's in an Idris outside.
Explosion.
You can just skip through it. Click through the door. No problem.
We know the methods.
We know the strategy. Yeah, there's so much stuff. I can't wait to. Is air traffic control in 3.0?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes,
it is. Cool.
Maybe not for the first Evo release.
Not for the first Evo.
Not sure if it's one they've cut out. We don't know, do we yet? Really, until we get a full feature of what's coming for Evocati, but. I suppose you're still going to be 3.0 eventually.
So here's the thing then. So because I'm not Evocati, I don't have personally the time or the patience to become an Evocati person. I certainly I'm not clever enough to be an Evocati person. But when they announce,
don't give me that. You're clever enough, man.
If it's pictures, I'm clever. If they are, when you said they're going to do a full feature, will they announce to the Evocati guys saying, hey, this is what's going to be in it? I mean, how does it work, the Evocati, in terms of how they get the content?
What do you mean? As in,
like, do they just suddenly wake up one day and they send an email to them saying, hey guys, we've got the Evocati build is now available for you to download, go and enjoy?
Well, if you're already awake, then no, you don't wake up and see it. You see the email like a normal person would.
Yeah.
They roll it out when it's ready.
They don't send out an email prior to it, everybody saying, right, this is what we need you to focus on.
Not to everybody.
In the Evocati section that other people don't have access to.
That's what I
sometimes get like a pre-warning.
Just like Discord was before they moved everything to Spectrum.
Okay.
The most we get is a pre-warning saying we're expecting it on Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to get it. The same as everybody else. We've had tests in the
Reddit
past where they say
knows
you're
when the
getting this
build's going
Friday,
out.
and then you wait and it's not there, and then they sorry it's going to be after the weekend. You get it Monday, and then you wait on Monday, and then it's still not there. So is it people that just think, oh, you're getting it, it's all dandy. It's not. It's not there until you load it up, and they say, right, it's released. That's when you get it.
Like magic, basically.
Like magic. It's like magic.
I was just curious if they'll roll out, and do you think they'll roll out? Because they talked about it in some of the chats about. I can't remember where it was. You have to excuse me. I'm ridiculously high on cold medicine.
Sure.
No, seriously.
Cold medicine.
Cold medicine.
Or crack, as everyone else knows of it.
Speed, amphetamines. I'd be a little bit more wired if I was.
We do not condone drugs, by the way.
No.
Okay.
I condone cold medicine. That's what I'm condoning. When you've got a cold, you need that shit. No, in regards to the Evocati, they want them to test specifically certain things, so they will maybe, like we're talking about, delivering certain bits to Evocati a bit later. So maybe they'll drop the first iteration, or will they just drop the whole lot, on them and say, here you go, here's everything, go and play it.
For Evocatis, they'll give them the navigation and traversal build, so things will be cut out of the build.
I don't think they cut it out though. It's like it was like the Gamescom demo, wasn't it? It said it's there, but you can't access parts of it.
Yeah, it's basically
a code lock. Yeah, assets will still be there probably.
I don't mean they're gonna strip it from the build. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Deactivate it from.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because what you say can be confusing because they're not cutting. Because that's what Brian had to come and say. Look, no, we're not doing multiple builds. It's the same build.
Don't. What the hell are you talking about?
What?
I confuse don't ever, and whenever you say I don't confuse, never.
It's confusing if you turn around and say to people they cut it out.
Never mind.
And they haven't cut it out. They've just taken away the access to it. We don't even know if they're going to do that or whether they're just going to leave it all in and it's buggy. We don't, we're not sure.
Depends on the size of the build. If it's going to be like 15 gigabytes, then yeah, maybe they've left something out. If it's going to be 30, Probably just deactivated.
Well, we've never had one where they've...
It's not always about the size of the build, you know.
Hey, it's what you do with it.
She's fucking yawning again, I tell you. She's trying to hide it, look. You see it? Everybody saw it. You can't hide it.
Where's your coffee?
It's okay.
It's when you go...
Yeah, I do that as well, yeah.
I'm alright.
Come on, some slack. I stayed up all night for you guys.
Yeah,
don't be mean, Mac. Shush.
Yeah. I have to say that
She hasn't been to bed yet, so...
It's insane.
Oh, wow.
For everyone,
Angel
Angel is pulling an all-nighter, and it's probably like 7 o'clock in the morning there, 8 o'clock in the morning.
And the rest.
Why didn't you go to
9
bed?
in the morning.
Why did you not go to bed already?
I can't do that. I really can't do it.
I only found out when this started at, I think it was about 30 minutes past midnight my time.
Oh,
so
okay.
I could go to bed and risk not waking up, or I could just pull the all-nighter.
That would be way more worth it. Just
I would have risked it.
Yeah, just miss it.
To be honest.
Just sleep through it.
Sleep
But we
tonight.
appreciate it massively.
No, we do, yeah.
Definitely.
Sacrificing your health for us.
Energy drinks. That's what you need.
Ugh, monster. I'll have a Red Bull.
Yeah, because that's so much better. I just don't touch it.
This is a good one. This one tastes of energy.
Okay.
No energy.
Just try
orange
snorting
juice.
sugar.
Okay.
It's so much easier.
Questions. We're moving on to questions, boys. We've got a couple of questions being thrown in. So, first question, which we've already kind of answered, but we can kind of go on it again a little bit if you want to, for people that maybe just joined us. Do you imagine wildlife will be specific per planet? If so, do you plan on introducing some wildlife to ArcCorp and stuff? So, is there anything else that anyone's thought about in terms of
I suppose if you drop your kegs, you could introduce crabs.
introduce crabs?
But I think... Sorry, go on, Angel.
You'd think they'd have some sort of quarantines in place so that you can't bring the exotic animals into areas like ArcCorp.
Yeah, like in real life.
Australia definitely has that covered.
Yeah, keep
very-
your fucking creatures to yourself. We don't want them in the UK. We're wusses. We don't want those fucking spiders and snakes and shit. We want to live with ladybugs.
I've seen this
and
TV
butterflies.
show where they have like border control Australia. It's pretty
Yeah,
fucking
that's why I
funny,
said
to be
it.
honest.
No, it's a
Australia
good point.
is
Yeah.
It's really fucking funny.
You even
You
have to have enough
have to-
cash to get into the...
If you remember,
Yeah.
I
if you
think-
remember him is.
I think aliens to certain planets need to stay true to the gravity. So you like you see with the Expanse,
But you mean you
the
ship and they
moon,
squish.
kind of. But the moon, the people of the moon, the Lunars. Fuck, I couldn't think of the name. They're quite elongated because the gravity is
The Mooners.
different. So the people, the creatures that you find on a planet will need to be relative. Like you see the Van Duel, they actually have different abilities and they will fight differently based on their gravity of their planet because it makes sense. You know, we have a certain gravity level here. If we were to go somewhere else, if we would find it weird if every place we were just the same gravity as Earth. So the creatures need to be representative of the planet they are from to a degree that is realistic to the gravity. So they may be quite elongated and different. I don't know.
Well, we've got
Anyway,
JLee here.
If
so
you
JLee's
bring
doing
one of
the
those
concept,
to
so-
Earth where the gravity is much higher, it's just going to turn into a pancake.
Yeah. Oh my god. I hate this place.
Well, this brings on the possibility of having to have special alien animal welfare flying around, making sure that people aren't abusing animals.
The SJWs.
That's the one. We've got to make sure that they're not taking animals off planets.
PETA of the
you know,
30th century.
being terribly, you know, you've got to.
That's a good question, though. For JLee, though, when you design a concept for something like a creature or an alien, do you actually consider the planet that it's from and its atmosphere, its ecosystem, and take everything into account, or do you just think, "Fuck it, I'll do what I like"? Because
I don't think he does animals. I think he just does characters. Although we just
I just had a video.
No, he's done
see
creatures.
him
I just did
If you've seen his
do a
website,
gorilla thing.
I just did the
Of
gorilla
course.
one. Yeah, we just had the gorilla rap a second ago.
he speaks like a hipster as well. By the way, so
What,
of
JLee?
course, yeah, of
course.
course means
Of course.
of course,
Yeah, of course.
like to normal folk.
Of course.
Okay, let's go on to the next question, shall we?
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
The
Try
next
not to keep
question.
Angel up any longer than she needs to.
Next was, if you're going around collecting trophies from your victims, would this affect the type of people who you target?
Yes, I'm not going to get a trophy from that person, so fuck him. I want a trophy.
I'm
I'll take
going,
anyone-
I'm going after well-endowed people.
The trophy's not pink.
Stick their cocks on the walls. What?
There's this thing with my stream, you know, it's a naughty nurse. Essentially, I was not allowed to drive. My organization's Javelin.
What's your?
So I was going to be put into the med bay, and if our ship was attacked and we were captured, I was going to offer my medical services to the opposite team, and then annihilate them from the inside.
Right.
Which is
medical services.
Essentially, that would become what I would call my trophy collection. I have infiltrated another organization.
Well.
Exactly. Are you going to stick a pineapple up their asses?
Come 3.0, we're actually going to bring the naughtiness to life. So.
This may hurt a lot.
I like it how it was the the male team members that suggested this to the female team members. Said, when we get raided,
you need a naughty nurse.
We need a naughty nurse. He's going to become offering medical services
in a male community. Everyone is just going to be like, sorry, what?
They're the ones who
you
told
can
me
have
I
male
couldn't fly. But, you know, sticking me in the med bay was actually my idea.
I could be the naughty nurse, you know.
We're going to use you as a naughty nurse in case we ever get boarded. We can't handle the situation. We need a spy. We'll send you in.
I would happily be captured just for the sake of that experience.
Do you know what? I like the espionage element of it, but the naughty nurse thing is genius.
Well, I've got to have a little fun with it.
It's good. I like it.
It's when you, Madness, dress like you say you want to take a female character.
I will be a naughty nurse for sure.
It's when you get into the med bay and then Madness in his strutty sort of female character comes along and says, "What are you doing here?" And you're like, "Whoa! No.
It's all gone wrong."
When the male voice comes out of the female character, it's like, okay, burn it with fire. We don't want this.
Burn him with fire. Yeah, I think Angels will be able to pull it off. She's got the voice for it, but yeah, no chance. That's funny.
And sorry, JLee says about planets, we take into consideration of what planet, what they eat, their behavioural patterns, and what eats it. So they do.
Oh, nice.
We eat everything. We humans eat everything. So
we are the top group until a shark that has legs.
The band will come.
I guess that adds to the lore. I guess what comes first, JLee. So I guess maybe someone goes away and does the lore, and then
chicken or the egg.
Or does the artwork kind of? It's a bit of a. I would imagine it runs in tandem a bit. They probably give you a bit of lore, and then you go away and you come up with a design, and you're going to go, well, what about this? Maybe if we add this, and then it goes back to the lore guys, and the lore guys go, oh, cool, I like that. That's a cool idea. And then they add that.
Communicate between each other and say, can we do this? And some of them give inspiration to other areas and other people. But they do run in tandem. They're always in communication when it comes to designing certain features.
There was something on AtV, wasn't it, the other week? That they said, I think it was the animations and the subsumption thing. They said they wouldn't normally work at that level, but because of the things they wanted to do, they actually had to work together more so that they could match the animations and I can't remember if it was a voice sync or whatever it was, but it's something they would normally do afterwards, and then they
Angels reply.
I don't know. What are you laughing at?
That's called a good night.
It's tag team effort. That's called a good night.
I'd like to point out that was actually to Uber Nerd's comment. Not
Of course it was. Yeah.
Oh, that backfired perfectly.
I wasn't paying attention, so I was reading it. I was like, nurse, you know?
It's surrounded by
naughty nurse,
with the naughty nurse.
Locker room chat is what's going on right now.
Well, I was looking at the Star Citizen directory, so I came back into the stream chat. Just at that point, I was
someone needs to clip that whole sentence, just that section.
Good timing, JLee. That's
funny
as well.
Timing.
So, by the way, those questions. The first two question was from Rupture. The second one was from Dakusha. And then the next question is from Jolly. And he asks, anyone want to guess when we're going to get 3.0 out of PTU? Out of PTU. And what the first thing you will do when you get it? So this is kind of a regular question, but it's a good one. It's always a fun one to talk about. You maybe change. So basically, when do we guys? First of all, first question is when do you guys think it's going to be out of PTU?
I said by the end of the year.
That's quite broad. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think December-ish. Really
December-ish.
I think
end of September already, so it could be, yeah.
Exactly, but now with 3.0 lurking around the corner, we might see it earlier. But with the amount of bugs that we have, and I think Evocati, what do we normally have Evocati? A month, 3 weeks?
It depends.
Something like that, yeah.
It depends.
No, sometimes we've had Evocati like for 2 weeks. Sometimes I think they rush the builds out from Evocati, in my opinion. But
I mean, personally, I'm gonna go with November.
I think what they might do with this one, once they get a lot of the bugs sort of kind of done, but not ready for a release, is they may keep the open PTU, so like get to that final wave and just leave it on PTU for a long time, so that it's not classed as a full launch.
Yeah.
Until they're happy with it.
Yeah.
But I think everyone will have access reasonably before all that.
Thanks, Crush. Crucian. If anyone didn't know, Crucian was on the other week on our show. So thank you for the host, buddy. I hope you had a good stream. Along with everybody else that's hosted you guys, thank you so much for all your hosts.
Oh, thank you very much, Cruci. Yeah, it's good to see the
Thanks, buddy. I hope you had a good stream. And everyone from the show, welcome to the Addicted Podcast. We're just running up with questions. So if anyone from the show, by the way, we're just doing question time basically before we finish up. Question time for us. So if anyone does have any questions they want to throw at us about the game, other than the question of when is 3.0 coming out, feel free to...
no when questions, please.
Yeah, because now you're just going to get loads of people saying when.
It's fine. I can read through the troll questions. It's fine.
Anyway, we're kind of wrapping up in a bit.
So the next...
not overrun.
And then we've got... No, we're not going to overrun. We've got about 10 minutes. So if you want to throw a couple questions in, guys, that would be great. And then what was the next part of that question was, and what is the first thing you'll do when you get it? So...
Download it.
Yeah,
I think that's what very crash trying to log into it.
That's a very good answer.
Can someone clip that for me,
That's
please?
a very good answer. Best answer yet.
Angels, are you interested in doing this every week? I think you would be a valuable member of the cast.
At 5:30 every morning.
Every morning.
No.
The first thing I'm going to do is get into a cutlass, land on a planet, and then just step foot.
Shouldn't you download it?
Piss on a rock. No, I've landed.
Oh my god, I've been waiting too long.
Oh, do you know how long it took me to get here?
How much longer than I thought it would be.
Oh.
And this cutlass has got no fucking toilets.
Where's that fucking bucket?
I could just see you guys all landing in a
open the
hangar.
side doors and let loose.
I could just see you guys all landing in a hangar, and then everyone's gonna hear over voice comms is just, "Where's the fucking toilet?"
Exactly.
There's like an army of guys running.
Nobody said
You
about
should have
hangers
gone
having
before
toilets,
we
have
left.
The ships have toilets, your hangars are gonna have to have
Listen,
one
I got an
somewhere.
aquarium in my hangar. I can piss in
Unless it's a Drake hanger, then you won't have a toilet. Drake.
Yeah, no toilets in the Drake hangars.
We have an aquarium, man. We piss in the aquarium. All the fish.
It's a fishing rod, though. Huh?
No, it's a worm.
If only that worked.
Okay, so we had a question here. Someone asked the question about the Reclaimer being modular or not. Because I'm just going to pause it there. Because basically, to answer your question, Ben Lesnick said that it could be outfitted.
Nope. Ready? What, Ben?
Yeah,
what did he say?
Ben Lesnick said it could be outfitted, but not at this point. The best that it is. So basically...
outfitted to do what?
But not the best at it. So really, the price point... I'm just reading through just because I'm just got my notes on this one. That it says you doubt that you... other things... Yeah, so... Yes, but not right now. Potentially it's there. So it's like a lot of things. There's a lot of potential stuff and a lot of things that they're potentially going to be able to make things do. But I would say... will it be modular? It's going to be,
I don't. It's going back to the whole point of will all ships be able to do everything? I don't think.
It's not. No. It's not going to be. It's not going to be modular in the sense that it's not going to be. You're not going to turn the Reclaimer into something else. It's going to be. The name of it says Reclaim. It's going to be that, but you might be able to change bits and add other little things to it. But
the Reclaimer is now a trading ship. It's called the Retrader. It doesn't make any sense. You know, it's called the Reclaimer for a reason.
It's called the Refueler.
You might be able to move things around, maybe add small cargo space specifically. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they probably want to add little things like that in terms of, you know,
it will be modular in a sense that you can outfit it with a better power plant.
Yeah. Outfit maybe.
Well, yeah, that's what all the ships are going to be. But maybe there will be some sort of modularity, like with the Retaliator, where you can replace the bomb bays with living quarters.
Yeah, or you can you could add something else. Yeah, you could swap out like a hangar, or you know, I think they said that basically it. I think they're talking. Ben and other people were talking about potentially it could be, but they're still in the process of all that stuff. So.
People want to turn every ship
That's what I was
thinking.
Into a pocket carrier.
Yes, they do. They want it to be like one. So it's basically because people don't. They want to spend all the money on one big ship, and that does everything.
Or a hose, and then it'd be a fire thing.
There is a big reason why you cannot have one ship do everything. So fuck off. There's one reason why you cannot have one ship just do everything, and it's because there's no reason why you would ever work towards any other ship.
I wanted to say exactly the same.
Sol, you're muted. Sol, you're muted, mate.
I'm muted.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, mate. Whatever you're saying.
Oh, piss off. Listen. What people need to realize is that most ships we can get in game anyway, so there's no point of having one ship that can do everything. Just get the ship that you like, or the amount of money that you want to invest into the game, and get those ships eventually in game that you want to use for certain purposes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no point in having one ship that does everything, because what will be the reason for you to get all those other ships? You want to get a 600i to prance around with your nice suit on and your pool table. You want a whole series for your transport. You want to get that eventually, or a good fighter. You know what I mean? Or whatever you want to. Fighters are obviously a bit easier accessible, but all these ships like Reclaimers, etc. You want to get that eventually in game. For those purposes, you know, and that's nice that you have a fleet where you can say, today I want to fly the Reclaimer. Today I want to fly the 890. Today I want to fly whatever the hell the fuck you want to fly that day. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of having all those ships, I think, at least. And maybe I'm a bit of a completionist as well. I want to get every single ship eventually. You know what I mean? Or even close to.
Apart from the Freelancer.
Why?
I'm just joking.
It's a nice ship.
I'm just starting shit anyway.
No, it's all right. That's all right.
Maybe you start starting. That means you actually have to stop
one more question
at one point. You keep going and going.
One more question if anyone wants to throw it in. Otherwise, I think.
Well, maybe we'll ask. No, we'll close that. Maybe we'll ask the guest if they want. I've got a question.
Yeah. You guys got a question.
It's a good question.
Go for it.
Good question. Have you got a question? And they all just go.
Right, from Mac. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
He is called Robert, and he is retired. He's he's
living off money.
He's a bisexual that used to live in a narrowboat, now lives on in a old folks home, selling drugs.
Pizza Hut and pizza. Oh, sorry.
So part of that was true. I'm guessing the bisexual.
No, the whole of it's true. The whole of it's true. That's my daddy, and that's what he does.
My dad's name is Bart. He's retired now as well. He's a grumpy old fart.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a joke question. I wasn't actually looking for answers. But okay.
No, so, Miss, it's your turn.
He's a bisexual drug dealer. I mean, what can I say about it?
Okay. Maybe this wasn't the best idea.
My daddy's a gynecologist.
Angel, do you have something you want to question or a discussion point?
Do you? Is something you want to question?
Earlier in the Discord, we were discussing about servers going dead because of people not being able to meet up with each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might have been Madness to Stream. I can't remember which one it was. We all know that every game has like a life expectancy. How long are you guys expecting Star Citizen to last before we start noticing the players dropping off?
Yeah, this was me and my stream.
I hope 10,
once
15
we're at
years.
full release.
Yeah, this was my.
I hope 10, 15 years.
I think the life expectancy of Star Citizen in general, without people dropping off, with if everyone was to play it and it was to keep engaging, would be 20, 30 years, hopefully. I know Chris Roberts keeps saying 10 years life cycle, but if they can update the graphics and things like that, then games are the longevity of games are increasing as time goes on. But like you say, whether or not people actually get bored of the game is a different thing. People may get bored. We've not played the game yet properly, so people may get bored of it and drop off. Personally,
I might fucking fall over before it comes out.
Yeah, we may all be dead by the time. But hopefully it will actually keep going for 20, 30 years until they make a Star Citizen 2.
I hope it
keeps going. And I think before I finish, games are actually extending in a time period. They no longer stop at a certain point because they do continue on. So Star Citizen may be one of these games that just continues on with updated
provided there's
ships.
fresh content all the time.
Yes,
sure, yeah.
exactly.
Like EVE Online and World of Warcraft have been going on for over a decade now.
Yeah.
Even GTA Online is in that category nowadays. I think.
Yeah, people still play it.
Stuff into that, and the game is like what 5-6 years old now. You know,
there's definitely the potential for it to continue, but whether, like you say, whether the content stays fresh. Hopefully they'll introduce people like game masters to keep the content fresh and to keep scenarios playing. It will be, a lot of it is community driven with Star Citizen, and it will continue to be. The modding community will add a lot to it. So there is a potential to have 20, 30 years.
So
whether that exists.
What's interesting with this one, this is like, because I was talking about something similar in my stream earlier today. And where this is, like you were saying about when the game goes live, and I agree with the guy's comments in terms of the years, if they keep bringing fresh writers and fresh scripts and fresh content, it will last. Now, my concern was not with it going into live stage, was going into 3.0. My biggest concern is if we have instances where you only have 24 people, you've grown now the environment to a situation where we now have 3 planets or 3 moons. We now have multiple spawn locations. We now have I forget the word, subsumption missions. Thank you. And people are now going into different locations and stuff. The chances of us now starting to engage with other people will become limited. Now, I don't know if they're going to be... This is where we need to see in terms of populating it with NPCs. But let's just look at the facts. Star Marine currently, if you're you struggle to get like 4 or 5 people in a game, it's not really got the longevity. You need people, interaction with other people. You really do, generally, to keep a thing going on. And my biggest concern with 3.0 is if they don't... This is why the Delta Patcher is really key. If they don't give us new content quickly, rather than a 12-month barren period like we've had now, I really fear for 3.0 if the content... I mean, we'll wait until we see it, but Mike is just purely a concern. I worry that people will get... like without being able to contact... like especially for the PvP side of things, that's my thing for me, is like... if I have to go chasing for 4 hours to try and find someone to engage them in a combat situation, or I'm sitting around like a spider waiting with a web to try and find someone, that's not engaging me in a good way of combat. I will probably have to go to Arena Commander, which I don't like, or whatever, just to keep my fighting skills sharp, because I don't want that. I want to do it in the PU, but, that's my concern. That's just purely my concern.
There is a lot of concern with the amount of people that can get into the game. And I agree.
I think Angel's kids are tearing the place down. They want that chocolate now. They're after that chocolate.
Yeah,
it's a chocolate rebellion.
She's locked to that seat. She's not going anywhere. So they have the freedom to tear
no matter what your
house
children
down.
are doing, Angel, just stay there.
Well, if I get up from the seat, they're going to jump on here. They won't have me anymore. You'll have them instead.
We'll ask them their opinion. When do you guys think 3.0 is coming out?
One of the things that I did on a similar line to this is not so much how much the longevity of the game after its release, but also what about people people that are playing it a lot beforehand. I mentioned before, like if you're playing like Ark. A lot of people played that for all the early access game and everything else, and by the time it actually came to being released, I was like, played it.
No, I understand. Yeah, I can't.
And I'm just not saying that this will happen with Star Citizen, but do you think that there's a chance that would happen if it's taking long to be developed and you're playing it that much? I mean, we've got another few years and you're still playing this alpha or whatever over and over again. Are you going to get bored?
I think
it gets released?
I hope there will be certain people that will drop off. Just purposely, because you play the odds. There was going to be someone somewhere that doesn't want to play it. So yes, that will happen. But ultimately what you'll see is the more that people that come in when the game comes to like 3.0 will drag in thousands of players if it's what it's said to be, more than people that will drop off. It is the risk. I mean it, Miz. I mean it. Don't give me the eye. I've seen that eye multiple times. But no, I think people will drop off. Inevitably, people will be waiting for things. Some people who back the game will die because they are too old. We know there's the elderly community. They will actually die.
Wow.
It's a statistical inevitability.
That's
It will happen.
Oh my
It will
gosh, I'm
happen.
going to have to mute Mike right now already.
We've seen a few people that are
Ageism
71 years old. You know, if their lifestyle
Some people
continues,
will die and you will not see them.
it happens.
Oh my god. It's truthful facts, but yeah. Oh my god.
I think Lord Styles is pretty young, is he?
It's like
How old
the
is
oldest
Styles?
gaming community, and he's like it off the old one. Oh my
People will die. It's true. I know so many people that have said. I'm in contact with a few people who are quite like in their like 70s, 60s, that sort of thing, and they're like there's actually one guy who's got a terminal illness, and he just says, "I just wish I could play Star Citizen before I fucking die." He's literally said that, and at first I was like, "No, you will. Don't worry about it." Now I'm thinking. Actually, mate, I can't give you that reassurance. I have no idea. So, yeah, you know.
Can I say?
Actually, mate, is it looking at me at the moment?
Patcher is literally determining whether you will play this or not.
But he is playing Star Citizen. He's just not playing the finish, but he's still playing
No, true.
Star
Playing
Citizen.
the alpha.
He wants
Still
to see it
playing.
come to
He's
fruition.
been privileged. I mean, like some people who, if we're talking about the morbid facts of death, some people may have never even got into the hangar and have been backing the game. You know what I mean? Like before, and then have passed away. Bless them. So you know, for the truth of the matter is some people I consider myself, having seen those guys doing those videos recently on streaming showing all the bugs from the previous group of people, I feel blessed to have only joined at 2.5 to have the bugs that I had in 2.5, other than the body bug, which I agree with Angels was the worst in Arena Commander. It was terrible body bug. That stopped me playing Arena Commander as well. I couldn't stand it, constantly not being able to see anything. It was terrible. But yeah, we get to play it. We're playing it now, and we'll continue.
I still remember the lighting bug in the hangar, man.
Good.
That one was
3.0
fucking
is
annoying.
Really close. 3.0 is really close.
Mm.
Really close.
Yeah.
It is. It really is, and it's.
It's touching cloth.
I mean, I actually like a turtle head, sort of poking.
That's what's happening right now.
No, it's a Xi'an head.
It's a Xi'an head.
Oh, God. Angels has no clue what's going on there.
No, it's gone over my head.
Oh, it's a British.
It's better that one.
Do not engage. It's immature nonsense
It's
that makes no
boyish.
sense.
It's
to
poop
anyone.
jokes.
It's a poop joke.
No.
Yeah.
A turtle head is
Touching
basically-
cloth.
Yeah,
I think leaving it
Don't explain it. Don't explain
Don't
it.
forget it.
I don't need it explained anymore. I don't need it.
That's hence the word.
Somebody clip that, please. I want to see that look of realization again. Somebody please clip that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Right.
It's too late.
Let's unless anyone else wants to add anything to the what we were just saying then.
There was something I was going to say,
Go
but I
for it,
can't
Miz.
remember. So, I can't remember. So, I think we'll wrap it up.
all right.
That turtle head, I think that's a good place to
We'll
end.
end it.
We had
before it
tropical
drops.
surprise last time. We got turtle head this time.
We'll do a quick.
Right.
We'll whip around, nice and quick, and
Whip around.
Don't
So
say
the old
whip
people that aren't going to make it till
Now's
the
not the
release.
time, man.
He's got a thing about whipping it around.
Let's just have a quick whip around.
He's been pretty calm. He's been pretty calm today, to be honest. He's been...
Yeah, we're not in church.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
The old people that won't get to play it, they're going to die before it's released.
We've just,
It's an actual point. It's a true. Like they say, old folks retirement.
Yeah,
if I
without
go to an old folks home and they
Makes
start
sense.
to listen to play, I'll be like, I don't give a fuck. My
Let's-
family cannot come and visit me. I don't give a crap. I'm going to play Star Citizen.
let's not go around again. Right? Okay. By the way, so if any of you guys, if you haven't followed any of the people on the show tonight, definitely go give them a follow. They're a great bunch of guys. Supermac is an awesome YouTube content creator, so definitely go check out Mac and his YouTube content. It's almost as good as Board Gamer. Definitely worth checking out. He's getting there. He's going to be number one soon.
I'm trying.
He's going to be number one soon.
Nobody can compete with Boar, though.
No, that man is a machine.
He is a machine.
The man is a machine.
Yeah, the amount of time he can regurgitate the same bit of information now that we're waiting for 3.0 is amazing.
Swallow the swear word. Oh, I'm not going to say it. So yes, give everyone a follow. What are you up to, everyone? So let's go around. Shall we go? Let's start off with. Let's just go around from the top. We'll do clockwise, and we'll go Sol.
Streaming. I'm going to stream this week. Normal time, 7 to 10. I will be streaming whatever games I find interesting. I might stream some Tree of Life, which I've been playing. Maybe some For Honor, some random games. Definitely some Star Citizen. Hopefully, I can do some streaming with Madness again somewhere this week, which I really enjoy.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
It was really good. It was really good fun, man. Yeah. So definitely come and check out, man. 7 to 10 on a daily basis. Maybe some iRacing, some Tree of Life, and some For Honor.
Nice one. I will be continuing. I'm going off to Asia. This has been my last podcast for 2 weeks. I've travelled to Vietnam this Saturday for two Mondays. I'll miss. Unfortunately, I leave on the Monday night the following week, so I will be back in 3 weeks, basically. So
Madness.
I'll be popping in to say hi.
Is Asia a good place to travel to then?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Ho Chi Minh is awesome. Vietnam's great. I definitely recommend Thailand. Depends what you want to do. Borneo is a fabulous place as well. Bali, if you like surfing, is really cool.
So what can you do in Thailand?
You can do whatever you want.
What can't you do?
Whatever you want, mate. You can do everything from the deprived. Someone's whipping something around in Thailand.
Let me whip that up for a second.
Yeah, I thoroughly honestly, you go to depends how long you time and
beautiful countries to visit.
But it's honestly, you can't go wrong traveling to Asia. The food's good, people are friendly, beer is cheap. And everything's pretty cheap, generally. You can get like they treat you like a king as well over there. And you can always get a happy ending at the end of it as well. So it's a great place to go.
There we go.
You'll always have a happy ending, that's for sure.
Which means fortune cookie, basically.
Yeah. No, honestly, seriously, it's fabulous. It's a really, really great place to go.
And you read the proverb and it makes no fucking sense at all.
Yeah, there's no place more appropriate than the name in Thailand's capital, Bangkok. That's for sure. You have to go there. It's the most incredible place, Bangkok, because it's amazing culture today. You know, she knows. I've talked to her about all sorts of stories.
The ping pong balls are the best.
The ping pong story. Yeah,
King Kong's balls.
No, the ping pong balls. I've seen the ping pong balls.
I could tell many a stories on my stream about Bangkok and all sorts of funny things. Some of it you can't.
I don't think I want to know.
It's terrible.
What, you haven't heard of the ping pong ball?
Let's skip that one.
Let's that episode of South Park. Yes.
We'll leave it there, but yeah, it's definitely worth traveling, dude.
Jesus Christ!
Take your girlfriend.
They even ask you what. Thing is, I walked around with my missus, and they even asked her to come in as well. Like, no, I'm with someone. No, she can come as well. Like, no.
Yeah, super pussy. Honestly, it's ridiculous. It's literally like crazy. Sex, all sorts. It's insane.
Angels, what are you doing this week?
Say it again.
Yeah, move along. Let's move along.
I'm not saying it again, but that's it.
Somebody clip it.
It's crazy shit right
there.
Super
pussy.
Super pussy. You want sex, honestly.
Let's move on
from an impression. You don't
let's move on from this one, please.
We all know what happens. Just don't do the impression, Madness. Little Madness.
Everyone in chat, we do not condone any drugs or one of these curricular
or prostitution.
Or ping pong shooting.
So yeah, go for the culture.
But if you have to do one, it goes very well with the other. Just saying.
Yeah, in case you're dabbling in one of them, make sure you do them both. Otherwise, why not? You're missing out, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'll be streaming this week, Star Citizen, and then maybe Echo.
Oh, you're all
No,
I like
if you really want to do it, snorting coke of the penis of a lady boy is an experience you'll never forget.
Are you boys okay?
And cut it.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if I want to hand it over to.
Mac is gone.
Is Matt gone?
Well, we already know what Darj is doing this week.
Wow.
Mike is gone.
I don't want to be associated.
Mike, just go.
I think he's just put up with like a temporary goodbye sign. Okay, yeah. I'm going to go to Miz, and when we calm down, and then we'll go to Angels. Bless. I don't really want to go to Angels.
We forgot Angels.
And have we forgot Angels?
We forgot Angels and me.
I don't want Angels to follow after that.
Yeah, follow that one, please.
You can. It's just like I'm just
no pressure.
Wow.
The children.
Can someone clip that, by the way?
I'm just gonna be streaming Star Citizen, some PUBG, Thursday to Sunday, starting at 8 PM Australian Central Standard
Fucking
Time.
drink.
When's the naughty nurse starting?
3.0. 3.0. Once a week, we're gonna have a naughty nurse stream.
Much more than we did before.
Do we do? Yeah. Is it a role play kind of scenario where we enact and practice these scenarios?
Do we have to get infected to see the naughty nurse, or is it just that anyone can walk in?
Shoot me, please! Just fucking shoot me!
Just remember, I'm going to be trying to take my trophies as well, so...
That's alright.
Okay, don't shoot me! Don't shoot me! Holy crap, I need this.
You can take my trophy any day.
I was gonna say something, but I think I've actually.
You said enough.
You're stopping talking.
We know your deepest thoughts.
No, you don't. You know only what I let you know.
Can someone put a youth player, please?
Jesus.
I won't. Unfortunately, won't be streaming much because real life has put up with me.
He's going into hiding. That's what's
I should be banned.
They don't allow those kind of streamers.
Yeah. I may be streaming my daily job shit.
Daily stuff.
What is it? What's your daily job, Dark?
It's 3D modeling, parametric 3D modeling for stuff. Mainly, this is where the boring bit comes in for asphalt plants.
Sorry.
Yeah,
asphalt.
Exactly.
Tumbleweed.
So I may stream that, but not really.
Asphalt plants.
Asphalt
Plants, yes.
Asphalt.
Like factories.
Asphalt, yes. It's the towers that make asphalt.
That's pretty cool to see, man.
As in like tarmac.
Yes.
The towers that make tarmac.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You put in gravel, bitumen, it gets all mixed up, and then it dumps into a truck, and the truck takes it to where the road is being built.
The boring part? Where's the boring part in all this?
Because it's just a bunch of clicking, me going like this, and just...
No,
Are you still looking for people?
That's the boring part.
That's
So you need like a controlling the reclaimer.
No, sure. Yes, I'm not even going to read that out, but there's nothing he can say. That's why he's bored. Yeah, okay. And Mac. Oh, Miz, sorry. Did you get Miz next? Miz next, sorry.
Whatever, I don't know.
Whatever.
Miz completely.
When did we stream those two games? Was that last week?
Oh, yes, we did we should do that. We did that last Thursday, was it? Or was it Wednesday?
Wednesday.
The mining dwarf.
Wednesday. Oh, we could do that again.
Diggy
That was cool.
That was quite funny, and then we did the Viking. I don't know what I'm doing this week. I'm doing some Divinity Original Sin, probably. What?
Are you doing Pain and Prattle? Where's that?
I did Paint and Prattle on Tuesday. No one. That was already.
I fucking missed that.
You missed it, yeah. I was started about 11 o'clock on that, I think. But so that'll probably happen again. Yeah, I'm doing some Divinity Original Sin 2. Which is good fun, and we're looking into maybe doing some D&D campaign or something using that system, hopefully, but that won't be anytime soon though.
You stream at the most random times, like I'm getting into bed and I'm like, this is nice. Oh, he's fucking live. Host, I'll listen for about 10 minutes just so he knows that I'm around.
He's already
stream at a normal time, a normal human being time in the UK.
It's so true though. It's so true. I'm the same. I get into bed and then all of a sudden I get a notification.
Why?
A notification. Mrs. starting to stream at 11:30 at night.
I have that with Angel. So she streams when I basically wake up, and she's all in night mode and evening mode. You know what I mean? And then
and you're in the morning mode. No, we won't go there.
No.
Yeah. That's why you watch, I guess. So
morning wood. Morning wood. Okay. Yeah, morning mode. Gotcha.
that's like instantly you wake up.
I mean, yeah, go for it.
It's a shame that Darj isn't streaming in the morning.
I would tune in for that one. Working on its BMW. We all know what that means.
It's an Audi.
That's right.
It's not an innie, it's an Audi.
That doesn't go with the joke though. So.
Sorry,
Oh my God, where have we gone? Shall we go and host someone?
No, hang on. We've got Mac.
Wait, no, we
Miss
didn't learn what Mac was doing.
Yeah, we gotta get Mac.
Nobody wants to
Again!
learn what I'm doing.
Let's get to Mac. What are you up to, Mac? Or unless Miss is not finished yet.
I think it's going to be the usual sort of videos and streams until 3.0 comes out. When Avocatu launches, I'm going to be recording as much as I can, but not launching it, obviously, until the NDA is lifted. My girlfriend is away on holiday. Not
Hundreds of
holiday,
videos.
Working. Exactly.
Just going live
Literally
as soon as...
launched at like the peak of NDA is lifted. Boom, have 30 videos of nonsense of me flying around in the verse. But Rachel goes away October the something. I should pay more attention to what she says. But it's I'll be streaming maybe more than I do normally. So yeah, the 5 days a week will.
What about at 11 o'clock at night? Something like that.
No, because that's ridiculous time when nobody's awake. Nobody cares about 11 o'clock at night in the UK. Only Miserable does.
I do.
Listen, it's a beautiful time, man. Don't give me that, Mac.
Everybody's
It
gone.
is if you're either a pimp, a prostitute, or a drug dealer.
I'm none of the above.
Any of those three is a great time at night. Is 11 o'clock.
I'm a bit of a prostitute sometimes.
Yes, just sadly we are.
That implies that
Ever
you
had
actually
anybody
get paid.
snort coke off your cock?
Yeah, someone has to pay you to be a prostitute. They can't just rape you and then be like, they have to pay you afterwards. Otherwise, it doesn't count.
The quality of this podcast has gone down.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you wanted me on, so...
Oh my God.
We'd
We'd love to have you on. And
You
I
can
wanna
tell
thank
alcohol
all of the
is
guys.
fueling this. Alcohol and
No,
wine
Jester, we didn't bother
today.
with Star Citizen today.
Cognizant. Yeah,
Definitely go check all these
was
guys out.
Any talk about Star Citizen? Not really.
Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up and
Yes.
host somebody else.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you, all our guests, Angel, Darjanator, and Mac. Pleasure having you all on. I hope you are not too scared to come back on again at some point.
Let's host
Yes.
drones.
Who shall we host?
And don't forget, the podcast will be going on YouTube, hopefully tomorrow, if we can get it up in time. And if
It might get banned.
someone gets it on SoundCloud, we'll get it on there as well.
Let's
It might
host
get
drones.
banned on YouTube. Could be.
Shall we host a fellow member of our illustrious team? Well, we've got a couple of people on. We've got Moonshiners, we've got Gala, we've got Red
I
Lear,
say drones.
we've got Boomer Fett, and we've got Dr. Drones. So
I say
Dr.
drones.
Drones, Dr. Drones, calling Dr. Drones.
I'm happy with drones. Is everyone happy with drones?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
sure. Go
happy
for it.
with drones.
Okay. Dr.
I
Drones
love
it is.
drones.
All right, guys, drop into drones. Give them a...
Realistically, half the resolution.
Hello,
Double
drones.
the
Please
Give him a something.
Give
give him some
something.
herpes.
Give him something. Just don't
Give
tell
him
him about
something.
the
Just don't let it be coke on a ladyboy's bits. Okay? And we'll
I don't
leave
know.
it on. We'll leave it on that.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you guys. Peace out.
See ya.
See you all soon. Bye.
Okay, you can go reprimand your children now.
Thank you so much, Angel. Thank you so much. Go and do your kids and get some sleep and rest up.
Yeah. Control your children, woman.
Madness. And I assume the Addicted podcast coming in with that amazing host.
Is she full of chocolate
I
now?
just
She's
want some
feeling
chocolate.
sick.